glued to your superstation Love 99.5 FM as we bring to you the 6th edition of the Love FM High School Debate. Rally behind your alma mater as gallant young men and women from the various senior high schools in Ashanti elucidate their stance on matters of national interest.
The Love FM High Schools Debate, trumpeting the voice of young ones on issues of national interest. This event is brought to you
live on Love 99.5 FM and watching us on Joy Learning TV on your multi-TV digital box. That is the channel where you keep learning. Welcome to the 6th edition of the Love FM Pepsodent High School Debate happening here at the Christian Service University in Kumasi. We are excited to have you join us also on our social media handles, specifically Facebook and YouTube, and following the conversation with the hashtag LUVFMHSD. Today we're going to see another competition, and we're going to have two, I must say. The first contest is going to be between the two brothers, and when we talk of the two brothers, we are talking about Opoku Ware School and St. Hubert Seminary. Now, these two schools are going to argue for and against the motion. Ghana's presidential time limit should be increased to 5 years. We have St. Hubert arguing for the motion and Opoku Ware School arguing against the motion. And of course, do remember, we do this competition in collaboration with the Ghana Education Service, the Ashanti Regional Students Representative Council, the Conference of Heads of Assisted Senior High Schools, Joy Learning, and also the Christian Service University. For now, let's speak to our teachers and our students who are coming from these two schools and find out how they are even going to go home at the end of today's competition. Like I said, these people are brothers. They live on the same campus. I'm going to go straight to Opoku Ware School, and I have this gentleman here. You are live on Joy Learning and also Love 99.5 FM. Introduce yourself to us and let us know what OWAS is bringing today.
Okay, so my name is Ponsa Solomon Nanajache Alfred Apia Jr. Third year student in Opoku Ware School. And today, not to brag, we are having a competition between ourselves and our brothers from the Sahus land. And of course not, to tell you the truth, even if you have two twins, they have a different fingerprint. That means that each and every twin has a unique fingerprint, sorry. So if you're having Opoku Ware School and Sahus, it means Sahus is our apprentice, we are training them. So there is no way Sahus, like a limited portion of our land, can come here and, defeat us. We are not here for jokes, we are here for business. So my dear Sahus, they should just mind their own business and limit themselves because we are the seniors and not them.
Okay, Solomon, thank you so much. Let me go to the gentleman also from St. Hubert Seminary, and he also has some words to share. I hope so.
Yeah. Well, my name is Josie Asare Bediako from St. Hubert Seminary Senior High School. And for today, it's simple. We prepared with God, we came with God, we are with God, and we're going to be debating with God. I strongly believe in the boys, and I know we'll do our utmost best as usual.
Okay, thank you so much, Josie. Let me speak to your patron right now. He's been on this train before. Tell us, what is the newest thing St. Hubert is bringing today?
I am Bernard Osei Owusu, the patron for St. Hubert Seminary Senior High. Actually, we are not bringing anything new. We are ourselves, and we are going to debate how we used to do it. Our brothers should watch out. If we are a microscopic part of their land, we are going to claim the land today. I promise them. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let me now go to the patron for Opoku Ware School. Kateche, what do you want to add?
Thank you very much, my sister. We are known for one thing, conquering. And I should be honest with you, thinking about now how to bridle my boys to jubilate responsibly on our victory. So that is what I'm thinking about now. I am expecting nothing than victory. Thank you.
Okay, so you heard them. After Opoku Ware and St. Hubert, we'll be seeing the contest also with Church of Christ Senior High School and St. Louis. But wherever you are, thank you so much for joining us on Joy Learning on TV and listening to us on Love 99.5 FM on radio and also watching us on Facebook and YouTube. My name is Patricia Bonsu. I'm switching over to David Akwete, who is in the auditorium right now.
Right here I am, Patricia Bonsu. Thanks very much. But Patricia, you know what? You ought to have been in the auditorium to have seen the broad smiles on the faces of students from St. Hubert and Opoku Ware School when they had their patrons engage with you.
Interesting.
Indeed.
Wow.
Venator. Aketeche. The auditorium is filled with all the bass you can imagine. Put your hands together for yourselves. And indeed, thanks very much for joining us on radio on Love 99.5. We're live on television on Joy Learning. We're also on Facebook on Love 99.5 FM, on Joy 99.7 FM, on Hits FM, and of course, Joy Prime, all on social media. Ladies and gentlemen, in this beautiful auditorium, please put your hands together for the Ashanti Regional GES, of course, the Ashanti Regional SRC, and the Conference of Heads of Assistant Secondary Schools, that is CHAS. Show them some love for me. We say a big, big, big thank you to them for their support. Now, in this auditorium, you're comfortably seated, and it's courtesy the Christian Service University. Again, a round of applause for the Christian Service University for hosting us for the past 6 years. So Patricia Amabosu said it a while ago, this is the 6th edition in the series of the Love FM Pepsodent High School Debate. Now, we're doing this year with a couple of sponsors. We'll be telling you about them in a bit. At this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say to you that indeed it is the 6th contest, or the 6th edition of the Love FM Pepsodent High School Debate. We're in the round of 16, and this afternoon we'll be witnessing contest 5 and contest 6 in this edition. Allow me to say a big thank you to Pepsodent Cavity Fighter. Now, every time we eat, food and sugars get trapped between our teeth. Now, this leads to tooth decay, gum disease, and sometimes, unfortunately, foul breath. Brushing your teeth every morning and night with Pepsodent Cavity Fighter gives your teeth the protection they need, leaving you with 10 times stronger teeth. Now, Pepsodent Cavity Fighter is fortified with pro-fluoride and microcalcium ingredients, sealing tiny and invisible holes in your teeth. Pepsodent Cavity Fighter comes in a very affordable 175 big gram, that is the family size, 120 gram, that is the Ejakwa pack, the 65 gram, and the 12 gram that comes in sachet. Now, the Ghana Dental Association recommends Pepsodent. Pepsodent allows you to talk to a dentist for free. You can call toll-free 0800-161-000. Pepsodent, every smile indeed matters. Bigo, now for your information, everywhere make hot. But still, man for enjoy. So to the boys, to the girls, mummies and daddies out there for your parties, your funerals, your family day outs, and any other social gathering, grab your favorite Bigo drink. Bigo comes in cola, it comes in grape, it comes in orange, coconut, pineapple, apple, lemon, and cocktail flavors. Get a chilled, affordable bottle of Bigos today at any supermarket or in traffic. Bigo is another quality product from Trillium Industrial Company Limited. Bigo, big, refreshing moments. It's also brought to us courtesy Jackson University College. Now, if you are worried about the best place to receive tuition for your IELTS in Ghana, then don't worry anymore, because the Jackson University College is here. Now, do you desire to work or study abroad? Then the Jackson Institute of Innovation and Leadership, we call it JIL, is here to help. JIL, in collaboration with the British Council, the IELTS, and IDP, presents a golden opportunity for senior high school leavers, university graduates, and professionals to register and study IELTS. Now, their course options include IELTS Academic, IELTS General, and Life Skills. Now, they have in-person and online class options. Now, so you can enroll today. Now, for your children aged between 5 and 15 years, I've got some great news for you, because if they want to study French or they already speaking French, they have some beautiful lectures for them. Now, Jill has an amazing package for them to study in Quebec, Canada, and of course, their rates are unbeatable, and they will assist with all the travel documents necessary. And that's Jackson for you. If you want to eat some breakfast, then you have your Milo or you have your tea with you, you need some milk. Not any ordinary milk, but of course the very best milk on the market. Cowbell is available on the market for you. It contains vitamins A, C, D, and E, plus K, which is of course their unique secret essential nutritional formula that nourishes minds like yours, bodies, and of course dreams of growing champions and the whole family. Cowbell is high in protein and calcium. Now, they have something for everyone, and they come in coffee, strawberry, choco, banana, mocha, and coconut flavors. Enjoy the finest taste in milk, because Cowbell has it for you. Cowbell indeed is our milk. And like we have been saying all afternoon, we say a big thank you to the Christian Service University, and they are admitting students for the 2024-2025 academic year. Undergraduate and master's programs are offered at CSU with morning, evening, and weekend schedules for all students. CSU provides half scholarship to prospective students with an aggregate of 6 to 15. Locate CSU at Star Junction at Santasi here in Kumasi. CSU Faith, Scholarship, Integrity. This is where I one more time welcome Patricia Amabonso, who's to my right, and of course Lady Becca to my left, to share some more information with you. Let me start off with Becca this afternoon.
Thank you so much, David. We'd like to say a very big thank you to NACI Publications. If you're looking for the best creative arts, religious, and moral education books for your primary, junior high school students, NACI Publications is your best bet. We also have the NACI Nuggets series, which is user-friendly and self-explanatory, especially when it arranges topics, pictures, and materials for your little ones. You can locate NACI Publications at Achima Bukro. NACI Publications, trusted by educators, loved by students, and approved by NACA.
Now, this competition is also supported by Daxo Dental Clinic, who are providing us with the comprehensive one-stop shop specialist dental services such as extraction, cleaning, polishing, filling, straightening with specialist braces, treatment of bad breath, and also giving us modern digital x-rays for our diagnosis. Now, we work even on Sundays from 12 noon to 4 p.m., aside as working from Mondays to Saturdays. Locate Daxo Dental at IPT opposite the first gate of Amstead. When you come to Amekom, we are inside the city-style building and also at Ahojo opposite the latex foam shop. Daxo Dental, we say smile with confidence.
We say a big thank you also to Ultimate Land Hub Company Limited, which offers litigation-free lands in highly sought-after locations such as Shire Hills, Eastern Quarry, Pram Pram Central University, and Dodowa Forest Hotel, which is about 5 to 10 minutes drive from the main road. We also offer property management, genuine land registration, brokerage, property development, and flexible payment terms.
Let's say thank you to the Rub Haven. The Rub Haven is your trusted brand when it comes to personal care. And so our services, I must say, still includes massage, sauna, detox, skin tag removal, manicure, pedicure, body scrub, all the things that you can think of if you want to have a very relaxed body, okay? Go to the Rub Haven today. They are located at Atasamanso, adjacent the World Links Academy. All they say is that give them 1 hour and they will pamper you. Now, the good thing is that they even work on Sundays, and Sundays they work from midday to 7 p.m. And after that, they work also from Tuesdays to Saturdays. And so make your way to the Rub Haven today and make sure that you are feeling good. They say just give them 1 hour and they will pamper you.
We say thank you also to Flora Tissues, which provides your homes, schools, offices, and cars with a hygienic, absorbent, and affordable option to clean dirt, sweat, makeup, or even mucus. Flora disposable 3-ply handkerchiefs, toilet rolls, multi-purpose towels, table napkins, and box tissues come in beautiful new packaging such as Flora Joy, Flora Smile, Flora Giant, and Flora Kids. Get Flora Tissues from a shop near you or even in traffic. With Flora Tissues, we say thank you for making us #1.
We'd like to also say thank you to the Sea Travel Consult, who are organizing another captivating, fun, and also unforgettable experience for you and I from July 14th to 21st July. That is in Kenya and Dubai. That is where the Sea Travel Consult are taking us to. Now, the tour package includes a UAE visa, return tickets, accommodation, and also free meals. Now, tax-inclusive tours for a couple goes for a cool $1,650. And if you're a single person, you get to pay $1,850. So call your friends and families right now and book a seat today. The Sea Travel Consult, we are the only travel agency in Ghana that gives you personalized services when it comes to travel assistance, visa assistance, and vacations, conferences, you just name it. The Sea Travel Consult, we say this is life.
And lastly, before we take off, we say a big thank you to Top Choco. There's nothing tastier than Top Choco chocolate spread on bread. On our Top Choco 3-in-1 chocolate drink is a delicious chocolate drink that combines the great taste, vitamins, and nutrients of Ghana's finest cocoa, milk, and sugar. And all you need to do is just add hot water. You also need to try our Top Choco Choco Cup, which is a crowd pleaser. Top Choco is available in any shop near you, and Top Choco, it's a pure chocolate bliss. With Top Choco, we say it's chocolati. David?
Well, thank you very much, Lady Becca, and of course, Patricia Amabonso.
David, wait, before, can't you see how beautiful we are looking today?
Oh, I always tell you guys.
I mean,
are
today is extraordinary. Uh-huh.
Indeed, they are looking beautiful. Today is extraordinary. Please put your hands together
Thanks
for
to Eslali Makeup GH.
For those of you listening to us on radio or watching us on social media, we're here to witness contest 5 and 6 in the round of 16 stage of the 2024 edition of the Love FM Pepsodent High School Debate. Now, in such contest, definitely we need judges. Judges are already seated. Now, before I introduce to you the panel of judges for this afternoon's contest, I'd like to inform you that the 5th contest for today will be between St. Hubert Seminary Senior High School and Opoku Ware School. Now, Patricia mentioned to you a while ago that indeed they are brothers. Their motion for this afternoon's contest will be Ghana's presidential term limit should be increased to 5 years. I'll take it again. Ghana's presidential term limit should be increased to 5 years. St. Hubert, they are for the motion. Opoku Ware School are against the motion. Ladies and gentlemen, Judge 1 for this afternoon's contest is Mrs. Beatrice Akosia Andrews. Now, she's a product of Aburi Girls Senior High School, Abugis. Now, she is a Certificate A trained teacher with 24 years of experience. She holds an MPhil in sociology and is currently in her final year of PhD studies in sociology. I don't know what's about sociology that makes her love it so much, but she's here this afternoon as one of our judges. Please, ladies and gentlemen in this auditorium, put your hands together for Mrs. Beatrice Akosia Andrews. Well, I would like to skip the gentleman who is sandwiched by these two amazing women and introduce to you Dr. Lucy Bonku. Now, Dr. Lucy Bonku is a senior lecturer with the Department of Liberal Studies, Kumasi Technical University. She has taught for 30 years in literature, English language, and communication skills, and she's here this afternoon as one of our judges. Always beaming with smiles, and the smiles broadens when you say Mama Lou. Say Mama Lou. Yeah, thank you very much. Now, the only male judge for this afternoon, looking immaculately handsome and gentle this afternoon, goes by the name Dr. Peter Arthur. Now, he's a former head Department of English, also former head Department of Language and Communications at the KNUST. Ladies and gentlemen, he's here this afternoon as our lead judge, and he'll be mounting the podium and grab the microphone and run us through the rules of engagement. This is for the benefit of those of you listening to us on radio, watching us on social media, watching us on television, so that when you hear the debaters mount the podium and start the debate, you yourselves can even pick up an A4 sheet, a pen and a pencil, and then give them the scores. So at the end of the competition, when we are announcing the winners, you'll be able to say that, oh yeah, I got it right. Oh yeah, I was close. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Dr. Peter Arthur, our lead judge.
Thank you, Dave. Madam Chair, I think I'm inclined to say that this hall is gradually becoming very popular for what we call youth parliamentary activities, because we are discussing all the national issues here and discussing them effectively. Clap for yourselves. Yes. So, Madam Chair, without wasting time, I'll just go straight and let the listeners and those who are watching get a feel of how we give the marks. I've already said that when you speak, we the judges see and hear what you say as a text. So we've divided it into 5. We have organization and clarity, arguments and development, effective use of rebuttal, presentation style, and role as a debater. Now, if you come to organization, we have the horizontal level order: introduction, development, and conclusion. All right, and each of them is going to earn you some marks. Now, when it comes to the horizontal, we are talking about your transition, the way you use adverbs to lead your listener through the process of your own brain. Okay, at this point, I always mention that it is not the business of the judge to know your main point. You will have to tell us what your main point is and how you are going to lead us on to understand what you are saying. All of them, they come together. Then, of course, on the vertical line, you have to, you see, this is debate, and debate is argument, what we usually call argumentation. But of course, there are other types that could come in. So you can compare and contrast. For example, the nurse and the teacher, who is more important for the economy. That's compare and contrast. You understand? So you could also have something like cause and effect. So you can say that corruption is most responsible for the underdevelopment of Ghana. That is cause and effect. And you can have a lot of these. It is your duty to identify them, because every type of presentation has got its own structures. Then you adhere to the structures of that particular presentation. And the first speaker for this section is going to have 15 marks. And then the second speaker is going to have 10 marks. And for the summary, you are going to have 5 marks. When it comes to argument and development, we have the external structure. You mention the problem or the point. You mention your perspective. You move on and mention the perspective of the opponent. Then you go to your development before you conclude. And that is why, at this time, if you mention your opponent and you want to put something to them, it's allowed, because it's important to mention the perspective of the opponent. But that is only what we call preemptive rebuttal. Therefore, preemptive rebuttal is only adding to the organization. If we give marks, we give it to you for organization. We don't give you for rebuttal. Okay. And then we also have the internal development. I sum it up this way. Your conclusion must be valid. 1 + 1 + 1 is equal to 3. And if you take any variable away from the equation, it's no more 3. You understand that? Good. The main speaker, 15 marks. The supporting speaker, 10 marks. And then for the summary, 5 marks. Then we come to effective use of rebuttal, your ability to locate a misleading reasoning, and your ability to explain, and then your ability to take a stand or defend your stand using the explanation that you have had. You see that you have 3 levels there. All of them going to give you 1 mark. Okay? So for every rebuttal, 1 mark. And it starts with the second speaker, because the first speaker has nobody to debate. You understand that? Okay. The second speaker is taking 10 marks there, and then the summary, we have 5. Then we have presentation style. Listen to me carefully. We have been having too many cliches here. The first cliche, now, rebuttal. Now, you made the whole thing like some fixed, some mechanical work, all right? No. You have a lot of expressions. Did I hear you say, or my opponents opined that, or my opponent postulating, I heard him postulate that, or my opponent was saying that, but you don't necessarily have to call our attention. No, it makes the whole thing so fixed. No, we don't want that, okay? As I keep saying, flow naturally. Just be natural. Good. Then, no reading. No reading. This is what the practice says. You have written your points. That's okay. You can look at your points and then start to develop it around. So you go around. Then next point, you look at it, then you start, because you have to engage with your audience. You understand that? If you stick to your paper we will deduct marks. Then role as a particular debater. Of course, we are referring to the ability of the first debater to speak like a first presenter, and then the second as a supporting presenter. Okay, so now let me go straight to the rules. The principal speaker on the affirmative team presents argument in support of the motion. You have 10 minutes. The principal speaker on the opposing team presents arguments opposing resolution, 10 marks. The second speaker on the affirmative team presents further arguments in support of the resolution, identifies areas of conflict, and answers questions that may have been raised by the opposition speaker, 7 minutes. The second speaker on the opposing team presents further arguments against the resolution, identifies further areas of conflict, and answers questions that may have been raised by the previous affirmative speaker, 7 minutes. The principal speaker on the affirmative team comes with closing statement to their arguments without adding any information, and I repeat, without adding any new information, and also uses the opportunity to respond to rebuttals if there is any. That is 5 minutes. And then principal speaker on the opposing team comes with closing statement to their arguments without adding any new information, and also uses the opportunity to respond to rebuttal if necessary. 5 minutes for that. Note this one. There cannot be any interruption when the other speaker is on the floor. Speakers must wait for their turns. All principal speakers, either on the affirmative team or the opposing team, should raise only 5 points. No more, no less. And all supporting speakers, either on the affirmative team or the opposing team, should raise only 3 points. No more, no less. And speakers should be very audible and ensure clarity in presentation. Now let's have other external rules. He who asserts, oh, I thought you were going to, he who asserts, again, must prove. So you don't come here and start talking without any proof. In order to establish an assertion, the team must support it with enough facts and evidence. Facts and evidence must be accurate. You don't come throwing around papers which are not relevant to what is being said. Examples of visual materials are permissible, and once introduced, they become available for the opponent's use if desired. Tangible evidence must be tendered as exhibits for fact support. In rebuttals, the debater rebutting may ask any constructive and clear question that has a direct bearing on the point raised. The one rebutting must confine him or herself to questions and not to make statements, comments, or ask rhetorical questions. Supporters from both sides are to exercise discipline, not to induce, frustrate, or intimidate the debaters in any form. Failure would attract deduction of marks from their team. All debaters must ensure clarity in their argument, and I think we have said that already. Debaters must respect time. If you are bailed out, you must end your presentation, else you lose some marks. Note, majority decision or score results from the judges carries the day, and that means the score results from one judge cannot overturn the 2 judges. They can't. In an event of a tie, schools will be given a motion to contest once again within 2 days. Reporting time for contests is 12 p.m. each day. Failure to abide will lead to disqualification of the said school. No, now note this one very well. All issues or concerns should be addressed to the producers of the program or event and not the judges. And the producer, all of you, look back there. Yes. Can you stand up for us? Yes. If there is any problem, he is the one you have to contact. And my wish is may the best team win. Thank you.
And trust me, the best school will indeed win. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, thanks very much for your time with us in this very beautiful auditorium. We're here witnessing contests in the round of 16 stage of the 2024 edition of the Love FM Pepsodent High School Debate. As I speak, 4 schools have already qualified to the next round from the 116 stage. So we know that Kumasi High School has moved on, Anglican Senior High School has moved on, Presby Bompata has moved on, and of course, Australia Senior High School has moved on. Which school will moving on to join these 4 schools that have already advanced to the next stage of the competition? For those of you who are watching us on Facebook, on Joy 99.7 FM, or Love 99.5 FM, or on Hits, or Joy Prime on Facebook, let's get interactive. Now, you'll be hearing from these young, amazing teenagers battle it out. So when you hear them debate, when you hear them speak, if you're excited about something, drop a comment. Along the line, you can also decide to tell us which of the schools you think is doing well enough to qualify to the next stage of the competition. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you a very special guest with us this afternoon. Her name is Theodosia Wilhelmina Jackson. Now, she's the co-founder and principal of Jackson College of Education, which is part of the Jackson Educational Complex, which of course was founded in 2009. Now, she has over 56 years of education experience in various capacities within the public sector as a teacher. For example, former head teacher of several schools, including Kumasi High School in the 80s, and also the foundation head teacher of KNUST Junior High School. Now, she is still going strong in the private sector after her retirement some 16 years ago at the Jackson University College. She is also a renowned marriage counselor, author, and an international speaker. Now, she's particularly active in transforming lives of girls, especially girls who are into youth prostitution, teenage girls who are pregnant, or are teenage mothers. She helps them in many diverse ways. Now, she's here this afternoon, first of all, as the ambassador for the Love FM Pepsodent High School Debate, and also the chairperson for the debate. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mrs. Theodosia Jackson. Dr. Peter Arthur also, informed us when he was sharing with us the rules of engagement and made mention of the fact that, and this is particularly to the debaters, when you are bailed out and you keep debating or you keep talking, marks will be deducted. So we just want to alert you that we have an accurate timekeeper, and most of the debaters acknowledge him when they're debating. His name is King Davis. A round of applause for King Davis as well. And he's an accurate timekeeper. Now, you have 10 minutes for the principal speaker, 7 for the supporting speaker, and of course, closing remarks, 5 minutes. Now, when you have 3 more minutes to go on your time, this is what you would hear. And again, he will come back to alert you when your time is entirely up by doing. At that point in time, you stop debating entirely. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the competition to begin. First contest for today, which of course is the 5th contest in the round of 16, is a contest that will be between St. Hubert Seminary, Venator, and they'll be pitching their strength against Opoku Ware School, Akateche. So let me go back to St. Hubert's Seminary Senior High School. Please stand. Anytime you hear an anthem, you need to stand. Now, you're standing because you're about to sing for us your school anthem. I like the bass in your voices. No female in there. Some of you can try to adapt the treble voice and sing in treble, just to spice it up. But if you want to do an all-bass anthem singing, it's very much welcome as well. Chief Collins, are we good to go? So what he's going to do for you is that he's going to play for you your school anthem. All you need to do is to tag along. For those of you who don't know how to sing the school anthem, don't sing. Because if you are just opening your mouth and closing without singing, I would identify you. But at this point in time, on 3. 1, 2, go. And indeed, that was beautiful. That was nice. A round of applause for yourselves. Students from St. Hubert Seminary Senior High School. And whilst you are still clapping, let's welcome your debaters. Let's start off with the principal speaker, Che Amponsa Dixon Jedediah, supported this afternoon by Tre Michael Gutenberg. And there they are. They were with us during the preliminary stage. They made your school proud by qualifying your school to enter into the round of 16. We're here to find out whether they'll be able to help your school advance further. Akateche. 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 I'm told that they are your brothers, are they? Okay, so please stand as well. And I'm talking to students from Opoku Ware School. Some people call it Opoku Ware Senior High School. They say they are not a senior high school. They say Opoku Ware School. So they are standing. They're also ready to sing for us the school anthem. And so, Collins, if you're ready, help them sing their school anthem on 3. 1, 2, 3. Young men from Opoku Ware School just singing for us the school anthem. They sang it with pride, they sang it with joy, they sang it with smiles on their faces. Opoku Ware School. And to all the other students in this auditorium, if you don't mind, with your hands together, let's welcome the speakers as well. Principal speaker is Owusu Ansa Michael, ably supported by Chris McCarthy, representing Opoku Ware School this afternoon. Thank you very much for the love. For those of you who just joined us on radio on Love 99.5, we salute you. For those of you watching us on Joy Learning on the multi-TV Digi box, we say good afternoon to you. And to all of you, the thousands following us on social media, on Facebook, on Love 99.5 FM, on Joy 99.5 FM, on Facebook, on Hits FM, of course, on Joy Prime, also on Facebook. We say thank you very much for tuning in. Let's get interactive. As mentioned already, the fifth contest in the round of 16 for the 2024 edition of the Love FM Pepsodent High School Debate is going to be between St. Hubert Seminary Senior High School and, of course, Opoku Ware School. Now, the motion is Ghana's presidential term should be increased to 5 years. Ghana's presidential term limit should be increased to 5 years. St. Hubert are for the motion. Opoku Ware School are against the motion. Madam Chairperson, with your permission, can we start it? Well, she says yes. She's given us a green light. So let's go to St. Hubert Seminary and welcome their principal speaker to start the debate, Che Amponsa Dixon Jedediah. Show him some love.
Greetings to the ever-wise chair, bold and impartial panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, colleague debaters, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen. Representing St. Hubert Minor Seminary Senior High School, I am Jedediah Che Amponsat Dixon McAllister, a proud principal speaker, speaking boldly for the motion, which I quote, Ghana's presidential term limit should be increased to 5 years, unquote. Ladies and gentlemen, before I proceed to lay down my salient point support of my stance, permit me to explain some key terms in the motion. Presidential term limit, as used in the motion, refers to the number of years that the Constitution permits an elected person or president to preside over a country. In Ghana, ours is for 4 years. Ladies and gentlemen, increase, according to the Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary, means greater in amount, number, value, only to mention but a few. All in all, the chair, what the motion is trying to posit is that the number of years that a president is supposed to preside over Ghana should be moved from 4 years to 5 years. And I stand to affirm the motion. Ladies and gentlemen, I unequivocally stand to speak for the motion due to the following reasons. Point 1, I argue that practically 3 years is not enough for a president. Ladies and gentlemen, officially, the number of years that a president is supposed to preside over the country Ghana, as stated by the 1992 Constitution, is 4 years. But believe you me, this 4 years is practically 3 years. Yes, I repeat, this 4 years is practically 3 years. This is because majority of the president time in the 4th year will be used for political campaigns, most especially for a president who intends to run for a 2nd term. Ladies and gentlemen, in the 4th year, the sitting president who intends to run for a 2nd term has to go through a pregnant electoral process again in order to regain the nod of his political party as the flag bearer for elections. And after winning the party primaries, political campaigns take over the chair of the house. The president will also have to attend political campaign rallies and also presidential debates. He will also have to pay various visits to various traditional leaders across the countries. And trust me, these activities require rigorous preparations and traveling very far. So their time is divided between official duties as president and efforts for power, ladies and gentlemen. And even with the little time they spend attending to presidential duties, part of their attention still goes to election, the chair. But when we increase presidential time limit from 4 years to 5 years, presidents can get a complete 4 years to serve the country, the chair. And this leads me to my point 2. Point 2, I argue that increasing presidential time limit to 5 years will give presidents more time to run the country as they deem fit. Ladies and gentlemen, as I have mentioned above, the last year of a president term is more of elections than administration. The chair, in election years, sitting presidents, especially those who intend to run for a 2nd term, are very careful not to step on toes, even when they know that what they are doing is right. The reason is this. The reason is because they do not want to appear in the bad book of electorates and lose political points. Peoples, groups, organizations, and unions exploit these situations and make huge demands that will not be accepted in normal times. That is why during election years, negotiation between government and workers are common, as well as strike actions. The chair of the house. But with a 5-year presidential term limit, president can have a complete 4 years to run the country, as I have already said, as they deem fit, and not to succumb to electoral pressure at the detriment of the nation. So it is for the betterment of my motherland, Ghana. That is why I stand to fight for the fight that presidential time limit should be increased from 4 years to 5 years, ladies and gentlemen. Point 3, I argue that increasing presidential time limit to 5 years will help reduce the frequency of elections, thereby reducing electoral costs. Ladies and gentlemen, with a longer time limit, elections will be conducted less frequently. This also means that the costs associated with elections will also reduce. Panel of judges, elections can disrupt economic activities as resources are directed towards electoral process. The chair of the house, reducing the frequency of election will minimize these disruptions, which can also lead to positive economic implications on the country. Panel of judges, a little inquiry into 2016 general election expenditure will knock your socks off. The chair of the house, the Electoral Commission was allocated with a whooping amount of 822,897,500 Ghana cedis for the conduct of election. Ebe, are we building a planet? The chair of the house. And if all other things being equal, and this money is repeated for every 4 years, what do you think will happen to our national payers? A question I leave for my opponent, the chair of the house. I am of the assumption that the taxpayers in this country are not being treated fairly. That is because it seems that they labor only hard for their monies to be spent only in electing the next president. Oh, fellow taxpayers, please rise up and rally behind me and let us seek for change, for we deserve better. The chair, the House, it is prudent to increase the presidential term limit from 4 years to 5 years because it could lead to substantial savings into direct electoral costs and also indirect costs related to economic and administrative efficiency. The chair, the House, let us do this calculation together. You let us take 20 years for an instance. Now, when we decide to go by the 4-year presidential term limit, it means that within 20 years, we conduct what? 5 presidential elections. And when we decide to go by the 5-year term limit, within 20 years, we will conduct 4 presidential limits. So this means that when we adapt to the 5-year presidential term limit, it can save the country from 1 full election and also political instability and post-election violence. The chair of the House, this means that with the introduction of this thing, the country can save a minimum amount of 822,897,500 Ghana cedis. And with this money can be used to invest in other developmental projects for the benefit of one and all. It is in this light that I stand to say that yes, indeed, presidential time limit of Ghana should be increased from 4 years to 5 years. The chair of the House. Point 4, I argue that the 4-year term limit for president restricts experienced leaders and also disrupts continuity. Ladies and gentlemen, experienced leaders who have developed deeper understanding of national and international issues are often changed before they can fully utilize their expertise. Ladies and gentlemen, this loss of experienced leaders can be very detrimental to the country, especially in the time of crisis and the implementation of complex policies. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope we all attest to the fact that in our various workplaces, there are some problems that may erupt that requires only experience to solve. Yes, this is a true statement. After all, experience, they say, is the best teacher. Panel of judges, without putting any political lens on, I can say without any equivocation that there were some leaders of this country that were supposed or that deserved more time than they were given because of their sterling transformational agenda and their pragmatic leadership skills. Ladies and gentlemen, as I stand here now, a lot of names are popping in my head, but due to some 1 or 2 reasons, I will not mention them. Panel, I would like to tell us that we cannot be slaves to laws. After all, laws are meant to be amended and should be amended for the collective gain of all citizenry. So my subordinate speaker and I cannot sit idle and watch on as law or constitution take away all our experienced leaders without we the Ghanaians, without we the electorates not feeling much of them or benefiting much from their experience. It is this that I say that yes, indeed, presidential time limit should be increased from 4 years to 5 years. The chair of the House. Point 5, I argue on economic growth and foreign investments. Ladies and gentlemen, longer presidential terms could provide more stability for economic planning and foreign investments. Panel of judges, Ghana's gross domestic product, GPD, averaged 6.88% from 2017 to 2019, drastically dropped to 0.51% in 2020, which was an election year. The chair of the House, longer presidential terms could indeed provide more stability for economic planning and foreign investments. Elections often create uncertainty, which can slow down economic growth and deter investors. The chair of the House, many a time, foreign investors are driven away by the way our economy is filled with zillions of hanging projects, which is not suitable for investment. The chair, in Ghana, the foreign direct investment dropped from 3.88 billion USD in 2019 to 1.88 billion USD in 2020, which was also an election year. The chair of the House. So if increasing Ghana's presidential term limit from 4 years to 5 years will maintain economic growth and also encourage foreign investment, which will benefit one and all, why should we not accept it? Ladies and gentlemen, it is with this and many others that I say that Ghana's presidential term limit should be indeed increased to 5 years. The chair of the House. I would like to conclude by leaving the House with a quote from Mandy Hill, which goes, and I quote, "Change is painful, but nothing is as painful as staying stuck somewhere you don't belong," unquote. The chair of the House. It may be painful changing our system from 4 years to 5 years. However, that is where we belong, so we should change it. The chair of the House. It is with this and many others that I would like to call upon all and sundry to indeed rally behind us as we affirm the motion, quote, "Ghana's presidential term limit should be increased from 4 years to 5 years," unquote. The chair of the House. Thank you.
To you, the ever-wise chair, both the impartial panel of judges, our great and keeper court debaters, distinguished guests, sponsors, ladies and gentlemen, good day. My name is Michael Nana Owusu Ansah, a student of the outstanding Opoku Ware School to which I am a representative. The chair, the motion being proposed to the House here today is, and I quote, Ghana's presidential term limit should be increased to 5 years. And I stand to raise my voice vehemently as a principal speaker in full objection of this motion. For clear argument and development, the chair, permit me to explain some key terms to the motion and strip the motion of its complexity to benefit the understanding of the House. According to the Advanced Learners Oxford Dictionary, presidential refers to anything related to the office of the presidency. It further defines the phrase term limit as the period given to a government to accomplish a specific task within the country. The chair, the House, the motion in this naked form seeks to say that the time given to the government in Ghana to accomplish their task, which is 4 years, should be increased to 5 years. But the chair, before we affirm this motion basing it on their argument, be not oblivious of the fact that the primary objective of this motion is based on the mere assumption that the addition of 1 year to the 4-year term limit of the government is going to ensure the completion of governmental projects. But upon a critical analysis, the chair, the addition of this 1 year is not a guarantee and shall never be a guarantee that the government is going to complete their initiated project, thereby making it an unnecessary initiative. So without wasting much time, let me majestically walk you through some reasons why it would be unnecessary for the country to increase our presidential term limit to 5 years. Point 1, the chair, increasing Ghana's presidential term limit to 5 years is unnecessary because it would call for undue delay in governmental activities. The chair, the House, why is this true? This is true because it is the deliberate attempt of most governments in Ghana to delay all their developmental activities until the last year of their reign, which, if I may remind you, is an election year. The chair, it is even common to the laymen in our country that it is only during election year that we see significant developmental activities, such as the construction of roads, hospitals, and schools within our communities. The chair, the House, a typical example starts from the year 2017 when the incumbent government was sworn into power. During that year, major roads in Ghana, such as the Ebuako Road, the Adesina Road, the Bonre Road, the Yabi Road, the Fonsi Road, and among others, other several roads in Ghana were in a devastating form. But the government did nothing about it. In 2017, we saw nothing. In 2018, nothing. 2019, nothing until the year 2020, which was an election year. It was then that we saw contractors and their machineries on the road, and the government telling us that if we do not vote for them, they wouldn't be able to complete their initiative. The chair, the House, the electorate showed the need for this initiative and so voted for this incumbent government for the second time in the year 2020. But it will surprise you to know that the moment the government was re-elected into power, all these contractors and their machinery just vanished into thin air. From 2021, we saw nothing. 2022, nothing. 2023, nothing. Until this year, 2024, that we've seen these same machineries on the road, with the government claiming again that if you do not vote for them, they wouldn't be able to complete their initiated projects. The chair, the House, this is a clear indication that the government of Ghana is always trying to toy with the minds of the citizens for their own political gains through their delay tactics. And therefore, even if you are to give them 10 years, they are going to delay until the 10th year before they begin any serious developmental projects. And for that matter, it would be an unnecessary initiative to give the government an additional year. Point 2, the chair, increasing Ghana's presidential term limit to 5 years is unnecessary because it would offer enough room for more corrupt leaders to siphon from the economy. The chair, the House, before each and every political party is voted into power, they spend huge amount of money on campaigns, rallies, and other political activities to increase their chances of winning, and they view this money as investment. The chair, according to the BBC News, the minister Victoria Hammer was recorded on camera of allegedly saying that she will not move from politics until she has received $1 million. The chair, this clearly tells us the corrupt mindset of our political leaders, and therefore, when they assume power, they focus on their own selfish desire instead of developmental activities. And before they realize it, they will be in their last year of their office with little to boast of. It is then that in the heat of the moment, they engage in political huge initiatives such as the construction of roads, which are bound to fail within the period of 1 year. The chair, the House, according to www.costofpolitics.net, the average cost to be elected as a member of parliament in Ghana is $68,215. The chair, the effect of this huge amount of money is seen when these political leaders engage in corrupt activities. A typical example is the National Cathedral, which is currently being abandoned because the leaders who were overseeing these activities have been allegedly engaged in scandalous activities. The chair, the House, if this is so, then why would these same corrupt leaders come to us through voices of people like my opponents and beg us to add an additional 1 year to their already term of the government? The chair, the House, what do they need this 1 year for? It is obvious that they need this 1 year in order to siphon the country of our financial resources. And for that matter, it would be unnecessary for us to add an additional year to the already 4-year term limit of the government. Point 3, the chair, increasing the presidential term limit to 5 years is not necessary because the 4-year term limit had proven successful by immediate government. The chair, the House, this is not the first time that Ghana is using a 4-year term limit in our system of government. It has been in existence since the year 1993, when we first adopted democracy. The chair, the House, a typical example is during the reign of His Excellency John Agyekum Kufuor. It is noted, according to www.ghanaweb.com, during his reign, he said that, and I quote, infrastructural development had been successful within a period of 4 years. The chair, this could be seen in the construction of roads, the increasement in energy supply, and also the construction of harbors and ports within our country. The chair, the House, in issues related to roads, it is noted that 3,350 kilometers of road were built each and every year within the 4-year term of the ex-president. Also, in relation to railways and other port activities, it is noted that His Excellency John Agyekum Kufuor was able to acquire 162 hectares of land for the Boankra Inland Port, which is in completion right now. The chair, the House, it is also noted that 6 bridges together with the Tetekwashi Interchange was completed within the same 4 years. And also, an amount of 33.6 billion Ghana cedis was spent on routine maintenance within the same 4 years. The chair, the House, not to talk about the 500 fleet of buses within our countries and the national health insurance schemes and over 205 clinical hospitals that the ex-president built. All these activities within 4 years. This clearly tells us that provided that the president is responsible and proactive enough, he can achieve anything for our country. And for that matter, we do not need any additional of 1 year. Point 4, the chair, increasing the governmental time limit to 5 years is not necessary because there exists in Ghana a transitional team which ensures that there is no delay in the transition of power. The chair, the House, currently in Ghana, there is a transitional team comprising of the top officials of both the incoming administration and the outgoing administration, and they ensure the peaceful and the quick transfer of power. The chair, the House, somebody might wonder why this transitional team are doing this initiative. The chair, the House, they are doing this to ensure that there is no significant delay in the transition of power. Therefore, in their own knowledge, they gave the elected president 1 whole month from the 7th of December to the 7th of January to plan and prepare for the office. Therefore, if a president comes and tells us that because he or she was selecting ministers, he or she has delayed in administration, then the president is indirectly telling us that they were not prepared for the office. They are indirectly telling us that the president was given to them by surprise, and therefore it is irresponsibility on the part of the president, and we shouldn't add an additional year to the already 4-year term limit of the government. Point 5, the chair, increasing governmental term limit to 5 years is not necessary because the president has all the resources at his disposal, and thereby would make it an unnecessary initiative. The chair, the House, the president of Ghana already have a significant control over all the governmental resources. The chair, the House, because the resources such as the land, the labor, and the capital and all the master brains are in their favor, increasing the governmental time limit to 5 years is not necessary because they already have the resources and there is no delay in acquiring resources for production. The chair, the House, in this year 2024 budget, the parliament has approved a 259,052,474,750 Ghana cedis for the president to engage in their economic activities. So the chair, how can the president tell us that because of economic activities, they've delayed in their projects, and for that matter, we should add 1 year? This is totally ridiculous, the chair. The chair, the House. In conclusion, it is in the view of these arguments that I have raised, and now to be raised by my noble Sabun, the speaker, that I humbly but firmly implore the entire House to side by me and condemn the motion, quote unquote, Ghana's presidential time limit should be increased to 5 years. Thank you.
Hello. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to be a historian for today. In 1961, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah initiated the construction of the Akosombo Dam. Believe you me, sections of Ghanaians protested bitterly towards it. But what do we see now? It is our savior in times of crisis. The chair. The moral lesson from this is that no matter how beneficial or valuable something would appear to be, there will always be an opposition. But the idea is that the opposition must never win if indeed it is for a good cause. To you, the ever-wise chair, bold and impartial panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, representing St. Hubert Seminary Senior High School, I am Kirkpatrick Michael Chere Gattenberg, Tepsis, an eloquent supporting speaker speaking for the motion, quote, Ghana's presidential term limit should be increased to 5 years, unquote. The chair, the House. For clear argument and development, I would like to add up to the tangible points raised by my principal speaker. Point 6, we argue that a 5-year term limit will compensate for early years inexperience. Panel of judges, you and I would agree to the fact that experience in every sector is a very important commodity that can never be disregarded. I don't think Dr. Peter Atta, aka Empiricism Man, and Madame Lucy, who I call Mama Lou, just woke up one day from their sleep and became the lecturers they are today. In fact, we will be wowed if they decide to share with us what they actually went through in order to become the people they are beautifully seated here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is proven beyond the skies of doubt that when someone becomes president, it takes some time before they gain total awareness of their new position. In like manner, every president begins his office as an inexperienced person. That is why former President John Dramani Mahama told Dr. Bawumia and his team, and I quote, "You have not been president before," unquote. On the other hand, former President J.A. Kufuor also said, and I quote, "What my experience tells me is that tenure of 4 years for the president of a struggling developing nation with weak institutions may be too short. A reasonable room of 5 years, therefore, should be given to the newly elected president in order to fit in his job," unquote. The chair, the House, if we indeed have such an educated and experienced mind like that of a former president backing our assertion, where then lies the argument of my opponents. The chair, the House. Point 7, we submit that it will see to the realization of long-term policies. Ladies and gentlemen, as I speak now, a lot of economic reforms and developmental projects have been abandoned due to the short-term precedents have in our country. It is therefore no coincidence that the country is bedeviled with a plethora of unfinished projects and policies. The chair, I will not take you far. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not trying to take you far. A report by Modern Ghana captured the former president of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, accusing His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo for neglecting most of his uncompleted projects, ranging from schools to hospitals. The chair, the most pathetic of this all is the ever-famous Saglemi housing project, which has now become the 5-star hotel of reptiles. Uncle David, this is not funny. On the other hand, Mame Ya Abuajewa, a communication member for the New Patriotic Party, also according to a Peace FM report, brutally lambasted former President John Dramani Mahama for also failing to complete President Kufuor's Apeja Road project. So you see, insults here, insults there. But ladies and gentlemen, all these mess can be put to rest if only we decide to do the needful. That is, by extending the presidential time limit to 5 years in order to allow the president or give the president ample time for them to complete all these projects. The chair of the House, our final point is that it would promote regional alignment. The chair, a 5-year term would align Ghana with other African countries. Ladies and gentlemen, it would interest you to know that out of the 54 African countries, 37, yes, you heard me right, 37 of them have their presidential time limit to be 5 years. In fact, even Ghana's own neighboring countries, I mean Togo, Burkina Faso, and La Côte d'Ivoire, all have their presidential time limit to be 5 years. So the chair, why then should Ghana continue to be the only stranger in Jerusalem? Out of 54 countries, 37 of them choose 5 years, 5-year presidential time limit. Why then should Ghana be excluded from this? The chair, the House. At this juncture, I would like to rebut some fallacious assertions made by my opponents. The chair, I'd like to assert that inwardly, my opponents are in full support of the motion. Let me prove this to all and sundry. Ladies and gentlemen, my opponents were here last week, Monday, to debate on the motion, quote, "Community service should be made mandatory to SHS graduates," unquote. In one of their points, Michael Owusu Ansah, the principal speaker, said, and I quote, "This has proven to be successful in other countries. So if we are to do what successful people do and copy their ways, then nothing can hinder us from achieving the same results as they did," unquote. The chair of the House, in relation to today's motion, successful countries out there like France, Australia, South Africa have been successful in using this 5-year term journey. So my opponents, let me ask you this. From what you said last week, are we supposed to learn from these successful countries and be successful, or stick to the fallacies you are presenting to us today? The chair, if they say no, then I'll be on point if I say that they are being swayed by the air. That is, whatever they say, whatever the motion is possessing is what they are saying. But the chair, they don't have any stance to speak against the motion. The chair, they also said an additional 1 year is not a guarantee, since 4 years is not enough since 4 years is not enough time to implement policies. But the chair, the number one, is very powerful to the extent that we have not realized. I'll not challenge my opponents. Let them wait. At the end of the contest, when St. Hubert Seminary Senior High School beats Opoku Ware School by just 1 mark, it is only then my opponents will realize how powerful number one is. So the chair, an additional 1 year to the already 4 years of the president means that a lot of developmental projects can be completed within these 5 years. The chair of the House, they also argue that President Kufuor said infrastructural projects have been completed within a period of 4 years. But the chair, don't you think that if an additional 1 year was added to these 4 years of President Kufuor, a lot of developmental projects could have been completed within this year? Where they lies your argument? The chair, the House, I'd like to resume my seat, but then I'd like to leave my opponents with a brotherly advice. Akatachi, those who cannot understand how to put their thoughts on ice should not enter into the heat of debate. The chair, the House, the line has been drawn. My assertions are clear. Thank you.
All aspiring candidates formulate their 4-year developmental plans through their manifestos even before they are elected into power. So if they do not achieve these projections, that is due to their own irresponsibility or incompetency. To the Vice Chair, both the pressure panel of judges, flamboyant and accurate keeper of the chronometer, ladies and gentlemen, all particularly observed. Good day. I am Chris Kojo Okwan McCarthy, a proud and eloquent supporting speaker against the motion, which has clearly stated that, and I quote, Ghana's presidential term limit should be increased to 5 years. Unquote. The chair of the House, clear elaborations has already been made by my principal speaker. Therefore, I would like to add up to the truth he has spoken. Point 1, the chair. Under Article 66, Clause 2 of Ghana's Constitution, it has been stated that, and I quote, a person shall not be elected to hold office as president of Ghana for more than 2 terms. This clearly states that every person has an 8-year rule in this country as a president. Former President Kufuor served the country for 4 good years, and he had his mandate renewed. Why? This was because he demonstrated a capacity for development. So, the chair, if a leader shows that he is worth the title, that's president, in his first term, we, the citizenry, are going to elect him back into power. And if he exhausts all the 8 years, that means it is likely the citizens are going to vote any aspiring candidate of that same political party back into power. That can be 16, but directly they have 2 terms and an extra 4 for a different candidate. So with this, that 1 extra year my opponent is talking about is neither here nor there. Point 2, the chair. An underperforming leader is already sophisticating the citizenry. So an extra 1 year is going to aggravate the woes of the citizenry, because a good unchosen leader is going to put his citizens at a peaceful rest. That means the citizens are going to show their dissatisfaction towards the underperforming leader through means like demonstration and protest. The chair, so an extra 365 days is just going to stress the citizenry beyond their elastic limits, which, if not checked, could lead to many illegal acts. The chair, during the reign, the chair, after the incumbent government said their first term, they were renewed for another term. But here lies the case where the citizens still showed the dissatisfaction towards some actions through protest. A clear example was in 2024 recently, where the teacher unions protested over unpaid allowances. And during the reign of the past government, there were a series of protests and demonstrations, whereby the most pressing one included the Dumso protest in 2015, whereby the citizens expressed their frustration and demanded for a quick solution from the government. So an extra 1 year is just going to be like adding salt to the wounds of the citizen. Whoosh, it is going to hit. Which, if not checked, it is going to lead them to plan a coup. A coup, I say. A clear example was in 2021, whereby 6 Ghanaians, including 3 military men, planned a coup and were arrested while testing weapons in Accra and has been suspended to death by hanging. Point 3, the chair. The government does not need an extra year in order to complete its projects. But why don't the government find solutions to why these leaders do not complete their projects on time? And this, I think, it is due to, but not limited to, corruption. Corruption diverts our public resources away from essential services such as 1, the healthcare, 2, education, and 3, infrastructural development. Funds that should be used for public projects are now being reassigned through bribery and embezzlement, leading to inefficiencies and reduced economic growth. So, the chair, we should rather kill corruption rather than arguing for an extra year, because if there is a presence of corruption, there is still going to be the presence of incompleted projects in the country. So why don't we kill corruption and rather stop arguing for an extra 1 year? We have successfully pulled the tooth out of the motion. Therefore, the tiger is toothless. So let's play with the wild. My opponent came here saying that officially we have 4 years, but practically we have 3 years. We're not doing practicals, we're doing officially we have 4 years. And then they continued saying that it is due to campaigns and blah, blah, blah. And in their second point, they again saying that the government needs more time to run the country. It is still in sync with the campaign thing. So point 1, point 2, it is the same. And I'm telling you that the government, constitutionally, the political function of the government is not to engage in political campaigns. So if they do, it is their own risks. And that is, they do not care about the citizens. They are leaving the citizens there to contest for their elections. While you know that that 1 extra year is not that important, the next 4 years they are going to get, that is the next term, is the most important thing. So why don't you be a good leader and get voted again into the government as your second term, rather than going for just a year? The chair, they also came in their third point saying that the frequency, reduce the frequency of election. That's going to reduce the cost of election. If we add an extra year to them. The chair, this is not true. If you have an election today and it is going to cost, let's say, 10 cedis, next year, if you do it, it's the same 10 cedis. It's even going to increase because the prices of things are increasing. So why are you here saying that adding 1 year is going to reduce the cost of Christ? No. And they also said experience is whatever. Although experience guarantees efficient leadership, but the one who is proactive on the development of the country is the one that is rather needed in the country, not an experienced person. So in this context, an experience is not a best teacher. It is the one who is experienced and proactive, the one who is experienced and is also helping the government and the country as a whole. And they also said they won't make mention of the leaders who would have done more during a long time. My opponents, I dare you to make mention of the people who would have done more if they were given an additional 5 years. Because there are lots of people who did more because they were given an extra 4 years. And they were given an extra 4 years because they did well and they did good things for the country, Ghana. The chair, they also came to talk about economic growth. Economic growth depends on various factors and not just a term. So the economic growth depends on you and I. No, not you and I, the president. So if the president is a good president, that means he's going to shoot high the economic growth. But if the president is irresponsible, then the economic growth is going to be reduced. So if you say the long term is going to go, that means that the 4 years since we started practicing the 4 years, we have never had an economic growth. Thank you.
The chair, the house. A beautiful presentation, they say, deserves a beautiful summary. That is why I stand up to summarize beautifully the points my subordinate speaker and I mentioned throughout the debate. Ladies and gentlemen, throughout our presidential term limit in Ghana should be increased to 5 years because, 1, practically 3 years is not enough for a president. Point 2, it will give presidents more time to run the country as they deem fit. Point 3, it will reduce the frequency of elections, thereby reducing electoral cost. Point 4, the 4-year term limit restricts experienced leaders and disrupts continuity. Point 5, economic growth and foreign investment reasons. Point 6, the 5-year limit will compensate for early years inexperience. Point 7, it will see to the realization of long-term policies. And point 8, it will promote regional alignment. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like at this point to divide my opponent's argument by 0, making it undefined. The chair, my opponent said that increasing the political time limit from 4 years to 5 years will provide enough room for corruption. That is for other people to siphon on our economy. The chair of the house, this is faulty reasoning. Ladies and gentlemen, Somalia is well known for its corruption. Ladies and gentlemen, ranking the whole world in order of corruption, Somalia is ranked first, ladies and gentlemen, but it goes by the 4-year presidential term limit. And also, a research conducted on 10 least corrupt countries in Africa showed that 1, Seychelles, 2, Cabo Verde, 3, Botswana, 4, Mauritius, 5, Rwanda, 6, Namibia, 7, Sao Tome e Principe, 8, Tunisia, 9, South Africa, and then 10, Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the 10 least corrupt countries in Africa. And then, surprisingly, it will shock you to know that 9 of them run with the 5-year presidential term policy. The chair, it is only Ghana that goes by the 4-year presidential term policy. So how can my opponent say that increasing from 4 years to 5 years will make us more corrupt, while these 5-year people are less corrupt than those who are using the 4 years? Ladies and gentlemen, Somalia, 4 years, most corrupt country. Hey, the chair, the house. He also said that, okay, yes, my opponent, I salute you for your innovative skills. The chair, why am I saying this? This is because my opponent's point revolved only around delay. Nothing more, nothing less. Is delay the only word you heard before coming here today, my opponents? Please, next time, do correct arguments. The chair, the house. He also said that even when we are to give them 10 years, developmental projects cannot be done. Ladies and gentlemen, my opponents, did you hear yourself well when you said that? Hey, the chair, the house. 10 years cannot complete any developmental project. Hey, how can you tell me this? If we sue you at the law court and ask you to come and defend yourself, can you defend yourself? Are you a president? Can you say that 10 years cannot undertake any developmental projects? Give me 10 years and you see what I'll do to Ghana. The chair, the house, he said that a good leader, he said we should maintain the 4 years so that a good leader will be voted for the second term. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, I accept that he is a good leader. That is to say that he has pragmatic leadership skills and also he has experience. So when we increase it from 4 years to 5 years, it means that when he's also voted again for, it means he will have 10 years instead of 8 years. That will make us feel more of him than the 8 years that you are preaching about. The chair, so where lies my opponent's argument? The chair, the house. He also came here to talk about my point that I thought electoral, it will help reduce the cost of election. The chair, my argument was simple. What I said was that when you take 20 years and you divide 20 by 4, it gives us 5. That is, we'll conduct 5 presidential elections within 20 years. And then when you take 20 and you divide by 5, it will give us 4. That is, we'll conduct 4 presidential elections within when we go by the 5-year term limit. The chair, that will save us a minimum amount of the money I mentioned. That is 822,897,500 Ghana cedis, which can be used to invest in other developmental projects that can benefit all of us. The chair, the house. It can also save us from post-election violence and even election violence. During elections, people will die here and there, gunshots here, gunshot there. But when we increase it to 5 years, it means that the frequency for conducting electricity will reduce and it will help save some lives. The chair, the house. He also dared us to mention the names of the people I said they deserve more time. My opponents, you cannot dare me. I am not here to preach any political propaganda. That is why I said that I cannot mention those names. But I know that those names are just resonating in your heads. You know them. And if you be frank with yourself, you can give me some of them if I give you the opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to conclude. ladies and gentlemen, I would like to conclude by leaving the house with a quote from Barack Obama, which goes, and I quote, "There is no doubt that I am a better president now than when I first took office. This is not a job where there is a manual, and over time, you get a better sense of what is important, what is not, how to see around corners, and anticipate problems." The chair there was thank you.
The chair, the house. My opponents argue for the affirmation of this motion because if a particular government leaves office, the other government is not going to continue on their project. But the chair, this is not a true statement because there exists a review committee in Ghana which ensures that all the projects initiated by a previous government is completed by the next government. A typical example is the Kejetia market, the chair. This initiative was started in the year 2015, but was commissioned in the year 2018 to government, the NDC and the MPP. So my opponent, that argument of yours holds no water. To you, the ever-wise chair board and impartial panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, court debaters, distinguished guests, sponsors, ladies and gentlemen, good day. Ladies and gentlemen, good day. I am Maikonana Owusu Ansam, mount this podium once again to give the summary of the entire argument raised by my noble Sabunde Speaker and I. In full condemnation of the motion, and I quote, Ghana's presidential term limit should be increased to 5 years. The chair, my noble Sabunde Speaker and I argue that Ghana's presidential term limit should not be increased to 5 years because, point 1, it would call for undue delay in governmental activities. Point 2, it would create enough room for corrupt leaders to siphon more from the economy. Point 3, because this 4-year term policy had been successful by previous governments. Point 4, there exists a transitional team in Ghana which ensures no delay in the transition of power. Point 5, the chair, the president already has the resources at his disposal. Therefore, there is no delay in the accumulation of resources for developmental work. Point 5, the chair, another working government, if we add another year, is going to aggravate the woe of the people. Point 6, the chair, it is going to help. Every president has 2 terms, and thereby all they have to do is to ensure that they work well in their 4-year term, and they will be elected in the other year's term. The chair, the house. Our last point and final point was point 8, and that was the president should rather find solutions to these corrupt activities and rather blame it on the time. The chair, the house. Before I resume my seat, permit me to refute some fallacious arguments made by my opponent. The chair, the house. My opponents argue that because a lot of countries are using the 5-year presidential term, we should also use it. But the chair, this is a bandwagon fallacy. A bandwagon fallacy is a fallacy that claims that because majority is doing something, we should do same. My opponent, let's not forget that the systems working in their country are different from the systems working in our country. And the fact that they are using 5-year term is helping them does not mean that the fact that you are using 5-year term is going to help us. And also, you made reference to my previous debate, but the chair, there is no connection between my previous debate and this one. So my opponent, get your resources well. Again, they argue that the frequency of election would reduce the cost of elections. But the chair, the house, they omitted a particular fact, and that is, during these same 20 years, there is inflation, and that pushes the price of each and everything up. So, though it is going to reduce the frequency of election, it is not a guarantee that the cost of election is also going to reduce. The chair, the house, before I resume my seat, let me leave you with this statement from Parker Drucker, a popular Australian-American management consultant. He said that, and I quote, "Until we learn to manage our time effectively, we will never learn to manage anything else in our life." This clearly proves to us that it doesn't matter the time that you are given the chair, you should be able to manage it effectively, because there's a popular saying which goes, and I quote, the chair, the house. It is in the view of these arguments that I have raised and have been raised by my noble subordinate speaker that I humbly but firmly implore the entire house to side by me and take away the motion, quote and unquote, Ghana's presidential term limit should be increased to 5 years. Thank you.
Well, I'm certain that we informed you that was going to be a very exciting, very informative, very educative debate, and indeed it's lived to that billing. One more time, a round of applause for students, debaters from St. Hubert Seminary Senior High School and Opoku Ware School on the motion Ghana's presidential term limit should be increased to 5 years. Well, I'm sure that you're very eager to get to know which school is making it to the next stage of the competition. Well, hold your horses. In no time you get to know. But at this point in time, to my left, I've got Lady Becca. Now, her coming back, like the debaters will say, her coming back is not to bother you with any more further, information. She's supposed to... She's here to give you some very vital information as to where you can go get some of the things that are of importance to you and also tell you what people are saying on social media. Becca, you ready?
Yes, David.
Okay,
I have a few comments here on Facebook. We have Louise Owusu-Ansan saying, wow, great performance from Owusu-Ansan. Hashtag Opoku Ware School. The next one reads, about the expenditure, it's a good point, and I was expecting a practical calculation to prove how much can be saved if we make it 5 years instead of 4, and he delivered. Well done on that, St. Hubert. This is coming from Oheneba Owusu Ejay Trichie. Dennis Opoku says, Akatechie, win and come and meet us in Ranti. And Anayel says, Opoku Ware all the way. Emmanuel O'Day Frimpong says, Owas all the way. Kobe Rocky says, the blood is green. Oheneba Owusu Ejay says, flat argument from Owas. Dennis Opoku goes on to say, Owas, Befan is simple. And these are some of the comments we have. I'm going to hand over to David before Patricia takes over.
Sure, Becca, and we are still here at the Christian Service University, where we are seeing the 6th edition of the Love FM Pepsodent High School Debate here. We are live on radio, Love 99.5 FM, and also live on TV, Joy Learning on your multi-TV Digibox, the channel where you keep learning. And just gone by was the end of the debate between Hubert Seminary and Opoku Ware School. We'll be taking the debate between Church of Christ Secondary School, Senior High School, I must say, and that of St. Louis Senior High School right in the next couple of minutes. But for now, let's still gauge the mood of these two schools that have finished their competition and find out what we should expect. If they were judges, how much or how many marks would they be giving each other? I'm just going to go to the gentlemen here on my left. They are from St. Hubert Seminary, and you're live on radio and on TV. Share with us your name and how you grade your own brothers.
Okay. Well, I'm called Bright Abakwam Wemwe, and with the performance my brothers put up on stage, I will grade them 9 out of 10.
Okay, why?
Well, let's say they gave their best, but for perfection is something that is not found easily. So I'm giving them 9 out of 10 because it was just like with one thing which they didn't add to their presentation. We took out the 1 mark. So instead of giving them 10 out of 10, I'll give them 9 out of 10.
I see. Interesting a figure there. Let me move to the gentleman also coming from St. Hubert. What do you want to add?
So I did very well, but I'm going to rate them 7 over 10 because it wasn't to our expectations. They did what they want to do, but their ratings, I'm going to give them 7 over 10.
And your name is?
Neil Arango Akeli.
Okay, Neil, thank you so much. Let me move to the Akateche right now. You heard what St. Hubert have said about your performance, giving you a 7 and 9 mark out of 10. What do you want to
First of all, my name is Osai Williams Watson, and well, thank them for their ratings. And you haven't asked me whether I should rate them, but then if I'm to rate them, I think that I'm going to say I'll give them a 5 for the principal speaker, and then maybe a 4 for the subordinates, because looking at the preliminary stage where we saw them, we expected a lot from them. But then coming back here and then seeing them debate like this, it kind of looks like they felt kind of complacent, you know. They thought that they had it. They thought that they ate, but actually it has ate them. That's all I got to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let me speak to Lord. Lord, join me right now and also share with us how you saw the performance of both schools. Tell us first your full name too.
My full name is Owusu Kunto Lord, and their performance was good, but for Sahus, it wasn't given what they should like give. So yeah, they were just debating rawly. But to Owas, our performance was like a 10 because we really gave in our best and we made a name for ourselves in school. So that means over here would be given everything we would give, and we gave it everything. So I'll give our school 10.
Okay, all right. So you heard these gentlemen from the two schools that competed today. That is contest 5 of the main edition or the 6th edition of the Love FM Pepsodent High School debate happening here at the Christian Service University. Whichever marks they gave, well, we do not have any power over it. Who or the people who have the power over it right now include Dr. Mrs. Bonku, Mrs. Beatrice Andrews, and Dr. Peter Arthur. They are the ones to decide the fate of these two schools when everything is said and done. But for now, we're going to go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll be having the competition between St. Louis Senior High School and Church of Christ Senior High School. My name is Patricia. Thank you very much. This is the 6th edition of the Love FM Pepsodent High Schools debate.
Via Superstation, Love 99.5 FM, the Ashanti Regional SRC and the Regional Directorate of Ghana Education Service Ashanti and CHAS.
So the house, my opponents are here, solely blaming chiefs, while these ignorant miners are alluding that the land belongs to them, therefore they shall do whatever they want with it. They even had the guts to tell the president that he can do nothing to stop them. So you see, these youths are clearly oblivious.
The biggest debate competition for senior high schools in Ghana is about to roll on radio, online, and on TV. Which school are you rooting for? And which side do you represent? For or against the motion?
Stay glued to your superstation Love 99.5 FM as we bring to you the 6th edition of the Love FM High School debate. Rally behind your alma mater as gallant young men and women from the various senior high schools in Ashanti elucidate their stance on matters of national interest.
The Love FM High Schools debate, trumpeting the voice of young ones on issues of national interest. This event is brought to you by a superstation, Love 99.5 FM, the Ashanti Regional SRC and the Regional Directorate of Ghana Education Service Ashanti and CHAS.
So the house, my opponents are here, solely blaming chiefs, while these ignorant miners are alluding that the land belongs to them, therefore they shall do whatever they want with it. They even had the guts to tell the president that he can do nothing to stop them. So you see, these youths are clearly oblivious.
The biggest debate competition for senior high schools in Ghana is about to roll on radio, online, and on TV. Which school are you rooting for? And which side do you represent? For or against the motion?
Stay glued to your superstation Love 99.5 FM as we bring to you the 6th edition of the Love FM High School debate. Rally behind your alma mater as gallant young men and women from the various senior high schools in Ashanti elucidate their stance on matters of national interest.
The Love FM High Schools debate, trumpeting the voice of young ones on issues of national interest. This event is brought to you by a superstation, Love 99.5 FM, the Ashanti Regional SRC and the Regional Directorate of Ghana Education Service Ashanti and CHAS.
So the house, my opponents are here, solely blaming chiefs, while these ignorant miners are alluding that the land belongs to them, therefore they shall do whatever they want with it. They even had the guts to tell the president that he can do nothing to stop them. So you see, these youths are clearly oblivious.
The biggest.
My name is Kofi Edridomfe. I'm the news editor for Love FM.
My name is Clement Apia.
My name is Ernestina Mensah.
This year's Love FM High School debate, I admonish our viewers and our listeners to take keen interest in it because it's going to be wonderful.
And I'm looking forward to a more provocative, educative, and entertaining 2024 edition.
Especially with the underdogs, the less endowed schools. Previously, they've shown that they are also capable of giving a very good game.
The Love FM High School debate is on.
Let's meet and have fun and also be educated. Hi, my name is Kofi Edridomfe. I'm the news editor for Love FM.
My name is Clement Apia.
Pepsodent? Definitely. Pepsodent. Ow. Let me see.
She's never had a toothache before.
There might be a cavity. Don't you use Pepsodent?
We used to, but I'll try the new one.
Ah, that's what.
But doesn't every toothpaste give cavity protection?
Not really. Pepsodent Cavity Fighter repairs tiny invisible holes to give 10 times stronger teeth. Will you trust Pepsodent? Definitely. Pepsodent, 10 times stronger teeth. Use Pepsodent Cavity Fighter. Ow. Let me see.
She's never had a toothache before.
There might be a cavity. Don't you use Pepsodent?
We used to, but I'll try the new one.
Ah, that's what.
But doesn't every toothpaste give cavity protection?
Not really. Pepsodent Cavity Fighter repairs tiny invisible holes to give 10 times stronger teeth. Will you trust Pepsodent? Definitely. Pepsodent, 10 times stronger teeth. Use Pepsodent Cavity Fighter. Ow. Let me see.
She's never had a toothache before.
There might be a cavity. Don't you use Pepsodent?
We used to, but I'll try the new one.
Ah, that's what.
But doesn't every toothpaste give cavity protection?
Not really. Pepsodent Cavity Fighter repairs tiny invisible holes to give 10 times stronger teeth. Will you trust Pepsodent? Definitely. Pepsodent, 10 times stronger teeth. Use Pepsodent Cavity Fighter. Ow. Let me see.
She's never had a toothache before.
There might be a cavity. Don't you use Pepsodent?
We used to, but I'll try the new one.
Ah, that's what.
But doesn't every toothpaste give cavity protection?
Not really. Pepsodent Cavity Fighter repairs tiny invisible holes to give 10 times stronger teeth. Will you trust Pepsodent? Definitely. Pepsodent, 10 times stronger teeth. Use Pepsodent Cavity Fighter. Ow. Let me see.
She's never had a toothache before.
There might be a cavity. Don't you use Pepsodent?
We used to, but I'll try the new one.
Ah, that's what.
But doesn't every toothpaste give cavity protection?
Not really. Pepsodent Cavity Fighter repairs tiny invisible holes to give 10 times stronger teeth. Will you trust Pepsodent? Definitely. Pepsodent, 10 times stronger teeth. Use Pepsodent Cavity Fighter. Ow. Let me see.
She's never had a toothache before.
There might be a cavity. Don't you use Pepsodent?
We used to, but I'll try the new one.
Ah, that's what.
But doesn't every toothpaste give cavity protection?
Not really. Pepsodent Cavity Fighter repairs tiny invisible holes to give 10 times stronger teeth. Will you trust Pepsodent? Definitely. Pepsodent, 10 times stronger teeth. Use Pepsodent Cavity Fighter.
The Love FM Pepsodent High School debate. We are back with the second competition between St. Louis Senior High School and Church of Christ Senior High School. In case you just joined us, we are live on radio, Loud 99.5 FM, live on TV, Joy Learning on your multi-TV digital box, the channel where you keep learning. Follow us also on Facebook and YouTube. You find everything that we're doing right there. But we love to also hear your comments, and so drop it with the hashtag LUVFMHSD. We are going to find out from these two schools, going to argue for and against the motion code. Ghana's ailing government system is attributable to the 1992 Constitution and Code. We have St. Louis arguing for the motion and Church of Christ Senior High School arguing against the motion. I'll be going over to David very soon, but before I do that, let me speak to our teachers and our students or supporters from these two schools and find out from them what they are bringing on, what their game plan is before anything at all. And I have this very beautiful lady here wearing this jersey from St. Louis Senior High School. Share with us your name and what St. Louis is bringing differently today.
Okay, so I'm Sarah Mjandu, and as you said, from St. Louis Senior High School. And so as our slogan goes, the pace setters and the School of Distinction, we are just here to set the pace and give our distinction. So I would urge each one of you to sit down and enjoy our presentation. Thank you.
Okay, so St. Louis, putting it simple and straight there. Church of Christ Senior High School. Say.
Actually, I'm David Kwabena Manzaya. We the Christians, we don't talk much. We are done cooking. It's time to serve the house. So sit and watch.
And let me speak to the patron for Church of Christ right now. We are happy to sit and watch, but what are we supposed to be watching today from Church of Christ?
All right, my name is Desmond Osuntim from Church of Christ Senior High School. I think last week we were here and we locked horns with Opoku Ware School. That's the husbands of Louis. So it's like they gave it to us. And today you've met the wife on the roadside. You know what you are going to do? You are going to give it to them. So when they go to the house, they are going to report us to the husband. Okay.
I see. Church of Christ. Now we're going to end finally with our patron from St. Louis Senior High School. I don't know whether you want to rebut what he just said.
Well, I would not go there. All I want to say is that after this contest, please make sure you look for him. He has some questions to answer. Because this time, we came with some legal luminaries. In fact, we have converted St. Louis into a law school. And so we are here with very learned colleagues who are here to do some legal battle in this auditorium. So sit back and enjoy something wonderful.
But share with us your name.
Oh, you know the name, Dada. Emel Amaibo, a.k.a. the Right Honorable.
Okay, so from the Right Honorable, we're crossing over to David right now, but do remember we're doing this in collaboration with the Ghana Education Service, the Ashanti Regional Students Representative Council, the Conference of Heads of Assisted Senior High Schools, Joy Learning, as well as the Christian Service University. David, take it away.
Well, thank you very much, Patricia Amabon. So, you know, when you engage with the students and engage with the patrons, it whets our appetite because it gives us an idea as to what to really expect when the contest really begins. Now, if you're in this auditorium and you enjoy the comments from the patrons and the teachers, put your hands together for them because they have told you what to expect from the debaters in a bit. So, standing on the protocols that we have already mentioned, we'll not waste any more time. Our panel of judges are still seated. Our great timekeeper is still available here with us, and I know that the debaters are very much aware of what his duties and functions and role is. Chairperson is still with us here this afternoon. So without wasting much time, we'd like to go straight to introduce the schools that will be doing battle in the second contest for the day. And they are St. Louis, and they'll be pitching the strength against Church of Christ. St. Louis Senior High School is here. St. Louis? St. Louis? St. Louis? Okay, please stand on your feet for us. You are for the motion. And so once you'll be speaking for the motion, you start the whole debate for us this afternoon. And talking about the motion is Ghana's ailing government system is attributable to the 1992 Constitution. That's what the motion is. And St. Louis, they are for the motion. At this point in time, once they're standing, it tells us that they are very much ready, poised to sing for us the school anthem. And so if you're ready, on three, like we normally do, 1, 2, go. That was the school anthem for St. Louis Senior High School. At this point in time, the debaters have seen them sing along with the other students. It tells them that they are very much ready and poised for action this afternoon. So put your hands together as we welcome the principal speaker for St. Louis, Aisha Nasara Mohammed, ably supported by Millicent Jackson Kwanzaa as they mount the podium. And we'll be debating in a short while. Oh, you can do better with the applause, can't you? Those are your school debaters, and they had to make your school proud, I'm sure. Let's now turn our attention to Church of Christ, and they respond to Kresek. 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 Okay, please stand. Yeah, so those are students for Church of Christ standing as we speak. They'll be going through the same drill. As they're standing, they are ready to sing for us the school anthem. And so without wasting much time, Collins, if you're ready, we'll do it on 3, yeah? Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Arise, 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 Christian students. Arise, raise the status of the school. Arise, 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 Christian students. Arise, raise the status of the school. Truth, excellence, nothing but the best will help us to achieve our majority. So arise, 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 and raise the status of your mother's school, Christian. So arise, arise, and raise the status of your mother's school,
Chrisek. Your debaters are Blessing Echampon, Principal Speaker, and Precious Ekia Owusua, Supporting Speaker. And there they are. As mentioned before, the motion for this final contest for today is Ghana's ailing government system is attributable to the 1992 Constitution. St. Louis Senior High School, they are for the motion. Church of Christ are against the motion. Madam Chairperson, with your permission, the students are ready. So once you've given us the green light, ladies and gentlemen, please, with your hands together, let's welcome the principal speaker for St. Louis Senior High School, Aisha Nasara Mohammed, to set the ball rolling.
The 1992 Constitution gave Ghana a unitary presidential democracy. The chair, impartial panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, good day. Today, we stand at the threshold of unraveling emotion that transcends conventional reasoning and touches on the very essence of our nation's democracy. Rising as the principal speaker for the motion, quote unquote, Ghana's ailing government system is attributable to the 1992 Constitution. I am Aisha Nasara Muhammad Ziblim. According to dictionary.com, attributable means the cause of something. Ailing means the suffering of something, and government system is a set of legal institutions that define the governance structure and functions of a nation. Simply put, the motion means that Ghana's failing governance structure and functions is caused by the 1992 Constitution. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1992 Constitution is the core element of our democracy, and when it was drawn, it envisaged a future of hope, certainty, and political consolidation, but that is not so. It is sad to note that we are far from where we wanted to be. As a nation, do we only pride ourselves in the fact that we have been able to hold 8 elections? Are we happy with where we are as a nation? Indeed, the 1992 Constitution, which is the highest law on the land, is the cause of our failing governance structure. For my first point, ladies and gentlemen, is the centralization of executive power. Article 57, Clause 1 of the 1992 Constitution vests extensive power in the President. The President is the head of government, the President is the head of state, and the same President is the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. According to Buafo Arthur, 2006, he poses a very important question. Quote and unquote, why should one person wield such a vast authority without adequate checks? He goes further on to conclude that this concentration of power undermines checks and balances, which lead to the abuse of power. Through nepotism, ethnocentrism, ability to appoint and disappoint anyone for failing to do the bidding of the president, which is against the interest of the state. If Lord Acton's dietum is anything to go by, then dare I say that absolute power corrupts, and absolute power has corrupted the wielder of that power absolutely. It is therefore to no one's surprise that the president of Ghana failed to sack the Honorable Agyemang Menu when he single-handedly sourced the purchase of COVID-19 vaccines, which is the Sputnik V, at $19 when they were supposed to be just $10. For my second point, ladies and gentlemen, is the disregard of the practice of separation of powers. Baron Montesquieu, a French judge and political philosopher, propounded the principle of separation of powers to prevent abuse of power. He asserted that the three arms of government, which is the executive, legislature, and judiciary, are supposed to be distinct in function and personnel. This is to say that if you are a minister, you are not supposed to be a legislator at the same time. Yet, what does the 1992 Constitution, which claims to believe in democracy, tell us? Article 78, Clause 1, mandates that ministers must be appointed from members of parliament. Ladies and gentlemen, how can MPs effectively hold the executive accountable when they are part of the executive? It is not surprising when on the 20th of November 2019, parliamentary sitting was suspended due to lack of quorum, as published on parliament.gh. My third point, ladies and gentlemen, is the weakened independence of the judiciary. According to Article 144 of the 1992 Constitution, it grants the President significant influence over the judiciary, which compromises their ability to act independently and impartially. The President is supposed to appoint judges of the Supreme Court, including the Chief Justice. How can they work independently and partially when the President is appointing them? It is true that the 1992 Constitution may provide ways for the Parliament, for their voices to be heard through majority decision. But I'm telling you today that the executive president will always have his way. Now, I have a very pertinent question for the audience. Whose interest does the Council of State and Attorney General best serve? The state or the president who appointed him or her? My fourth point, ladies and gentlemen, is the failure of the other arms of government to check the executive, which leads to corruption. Article 195, Clause 1 of the 1992 Constitution allows the president to appoint individuals into public offices, which mostly is based on political affiliation than merit. This creates an environment where public offices are given as reward to personal or political allies. Does this not explain why our institutions are filled with inefficiency and corruption? My fifth and final point, ladies and gentlemen, is the human rights concerns faced by individuals or groups due to the improper implementation of the 1992 Constitution. This leads to inadequate protection for citizens. The 1992 Constitution forbids torture, inhuman, degrading, or cruel punishment. But what do we see on our streets when criminals are arrested or when suspected culprits are left in the hands of these law enforcement agencies? According to an article by adomonline.com just last week, it quotes, Keta youth demand justice for landlord who died in the custody of policemen. MyJoyOnline.com also published a news item on the 23rd of March 2022 titled, Police Investigating Assault of Handcuffed Suspects in Custody. Ladies and gentlemen, who assaulted the culprits? The police. Who is investigating this case? The same police. Come on. Human rights abuse, if my opponents care to know, is a characteristic of an alien government, which is directly linked to the 1992 Constitution. I'll conclude with my favorite quote by Martin Luther King Jr. Quote and unquote, the ultimate measure of a society is not where it stands in times of convenience and comfort, but where it stands in times of challenge and controversy. It is incumbent upon us to address these constitutional deficiencies to build a more robust, effective, and accountable governance system for Ghana. Thank you.
The framework by which a nation is governed represents the single most important document that the nation can bestow upon itself. A document that defines the state's objectives, the institutions established to achieve these objectives, and their citizen duties to the state. This document is the Constitution, and we cannot underestimate its significance. The chairperson, with the impartial panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen. Good day. I'm a champion lesson, a principal speaker speaking against the motion quote. Ghana's alien government system is attributable to the 1992 Constitution. Unquote. Dating to the colonial era, there were several forms of government systems in the Gold Coast. In the 1940s, the native Ghanaian yearned for more autonomy, which brought about several constitutional reforms. On 6th of March 1957, the Gold Coast gained independence under the legal name Ghana. Then, several constitutions were made in 1964. 1972 and 1979. But then, Ghana was under military rule until April 28, 1992, when a committee submitted a proposal which was approved by a referendum to become the 1992 Constitution, which has served Ghana from then till now. For the purpose of a more organized, compelling, and clear debate, I'll start by breaking down the key terms used in the motion to the simplest understanding for all and sundry. From the Calling Dictionary, government system refers to the political direction and control exercised over citizens. According to Oxford Languages, alien refers to something of a poor health. Attributable from the same source means being the cause of something. And the 1992 Constitution refers to the supreme law of the land, which provides rules for governing the country. So all in all, the motion simply means Ghana's challenges, the challenges and weakness of Ghana's government system today is because of the rules of the 1992 Constitution, which we rise to refute, saying, no, you can't blame the law for this. We argue that the law cannot be blamed for Ghana's ailing government system because, one, it has led to democratic stability. Democratic stability refers to the ability of a democratic system to maintain its legitimacy, effectiveness, and continuity over time. In the context of Ghana, the law has made our democratic system maintain its effectiveness and legitimacy over time. Democratic stability is characterized by a peaceful transfer of power, respect for rule of law, and free and fair elections. The law ensures free and fair elections, where tension after every election is being resolved peacefully by taking them to the law courts. In fact, the disputes relating in 2012 and 2020 are clear examples of how our constitution has fostered free and fair elections. It has been made clear in Article 42 that there shall be an election every 4 years, of which each and every qualified person is allowed to vote to elect a leader, down to resort to violence means. Due to this same constitution, Ghana has had a stable and peaceful environment over the years. The African Democracy Award 2008, that's one. The African Union Democracy and Human Rights Award 2020, that's also two. Then the ECOWAS Democracy Award 2020, that's three. We're all given to Ghana for maintaining a peaceful and democratic environment. This people's pathway has been the dictate of this same law that my opponent find it convenient to bastardize. The chairperson, based on all these evidences, of which the opposing school is a benefactor, there is no way one can attribute Ghana's ailing government system to the Constitution. To my second point, the right chairperson, it protects the rights and freedoms of citizens. The law has been one of the best in the whole wide world, as described by Honorable Godfrey Yeboadam, Attorney General. This is because our fundamental human rights have been entrenched in the Constitution, making it difficult for any selfish government to change it easily for their own selfish gains. In fact, the whole Chapter 5 of the Constitution has been made to protect our fundamental human rights. This is to ensure that every Ghanaian lives to his or her full potential without any restrictions. To ensure that this law seeks to guard any encroachment of human rights, there were agencies established by this same constitution to guard against human rights abuse. This includes the Commission on Human Rights Administrative Justice. That's the SHRAJ. To ensure that our rights are not just entrenched in the constitution, the SHRAJ has been empowered to investigate issues relating to human rights abuse, administrative injustices, and abuse of power, like my opponent talked about. This has been the best in the whole wide world, and probably the best you can even think of. If there has been any violation of one's rights, bringing about the argument that the law should be blamed for Ghana's ailing government system, then I beg to differ. We cannot blame public failures on the Constitution, which has given us a way to protect our rights and freedoms. To my third point, the chairperson, it enhances political decentralization. This refers to the transfer of authority from the central government to the local government. In this system, the citizens and their people are given more power in public decision making. According to Article 254 of the Constitution, it states, Parliament shall enact laws and take the steps necessary for further decentralization. Quote and unquote. This is very effective in addressing the needs of the local population, especially in developing countries, which Ghana is no exception. A study conducted by the Sage Pub has it that within the Opoku municipality in the Upper East region, the populace are testifying that the local assembly's effectiveness in delivering services relating to healthcare, education, infrastructure, electricity, and water is superb due to this same decentralization. It strengthens the participation of citizens in decision-making and hence increases transparency and trust. This feature of Ghana's government system exists because of this same quantity that these people are here to condemn. To my fourth point, the chairperson, it ensures protection of public funds. Article 187, Clause 1 establishes the Office of the Auditor General and the Audit Service. The Auditor General is an independent body responsible for the inspection of all public accounts to ensure transparency and accountability. The Controller and Accountant General is an office established by this same Constitution who have the sole mandate to manage public funds and ensure that all transactions are done in a peaceful and accountable manner. Article 187, Clause 7 further states that in the performance of one duty as the Auditor General, he or she can disallow anything or any expenditure which is contrary to the law. This made by the Constitution to ensure that there is transparency in the management of our public funds. The law established all these offices, but it's up to the individuals holding these positions to ensure that they work to the public satisfaction. In such cases, the solution lies in addressing the specific issue of the individual and not the Constitution. To my fifth point, the chairperson, it has enhanced the establishment of the Council of State. Article 89 of the law states that there shall be a Council of State to counsel the President in the performance of his functions. The Council is a small body with the sole duty of advising the President on national issues. The Council consists of the following members. 1, a former Chief Justice. 2, a former Chief of Defense Staff, that's the Ghana Armed Forces. 3, a former IGP. 4, the President for the National House of Chiefs. And 5, a member from each region who have been elected. The Council has much important when it comes to improving government system. It ensures responsible and accountable governance. It fosters exchange of insight and helps public officials to shape public policies. In 2020, for instance, when the dangerous COVID-19 laid its cold fingers on our motherland, the Council played a very, very, very important role. The Council offered expert advice on pandemic management, drawing on experience in healthcare, governance, and crisis management. Now, Chair, let me ask my opponent this question. How can the creation of people to ensure credibility, accountability, and transferable governance be responsible for Ghana's ailing government system? The law establishes all these offices, as I said already, but it's up to the individual to render satisfactory services to the entire human population. So with this, the lines are clear and my submissions have been done. Now, Chair, I heard my opponent mentioning that the law disregards the practice for separation of powers. Let me educate you. Article 93, Clause 2 of the law states that each of the 3 arms of government, that is the judiciary, executive, and legislature, is made independent in terms of functions. So where is the disregard? If the people who are to practice this are not doing it effectively, it is due to their own unpatriotic nature. That's their own human factor, that's unpatriotic, and not the Constitution. They also mentioned that the law doesn't check human rights abuse. The law checks human rights abuse. In fact, our rights are not just entrenched in the Constitution. There are other agencies who have been brought about by this same Constitution to check human rights abuse. So if there have been any violation, now you people are saying that the law doesn't check human rights abuse, then let me educate you. It is due to their individual's own corrupt nature that they can't check this abuse, and not the Constitution. The chairperson, it is with this that we call on all and sundry to join us to debunk the said motion. Thank you.
The chair all protocols duly observed. I am Millicent Jackson Quanta, and the supporting speaker to further support the motion before the House, quote and unquote. Ghana's ailing government system is attributable to the 1992 Constitution. Ladies and gentlemen, my principal speaker and I are not here to say that the 1992 Constitution is entirely bad or has completely failed. Rather, we are here to say that the 1992 Constitution is showing a continuous pattern of retarded growth on the government system, where the functions and the functionaries of the government system cannot stand the test of time. And I proved it in my presentation. My principal speaker will tender in evidences when and where necessary. Panel of judges, our set point is based on the term limits and lack of continuity with respect to projects and policies. The chair, while the 1992 Constitution beautifully stipulates how an individual who has been elected as a president can govern, it fails to mandate the successive governments in ensuring that projects started by their predecessors are continued. Just to refresh your memories, the Commander Sugar Factory, which was reconstructed and filled with equipment at a whopping cost of $35 million under the former President Mahama, has become a white elephant under the current President, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and was considered in 2019 for sale at $12 million, as was published by myjoyonline.com on 12 May 2019. Again, the chair, in 2005, the former President, His Excellency John Agyekum Kufuor, started the Ghana Affordable Housing Project. When he left office in 2008 and the NDC took over, this edifice was left at the mercy of the merciless weather. It took another NPP government under the leadership of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to complete it in 2021. Now, this lack of continuity, which is a characteristic of an ailing government, has cost the nation millions of dollars, which otherwise could have been used for other developmental projects. Now, which would you prefer? A government system with continuity enshrined in its constitution or otherwise? More so, policies are left hanging when new governments assume office. An example is the 3 or 4 years SHS policy disagreement between the NPP and the NDC. Panel of judges, our seventh argument in favor of the motion is the weak electoral integrity as supported or curated by the 1992 Constitution. The chair, the 1992 Constitution has done so much when it comes to the electoral system. Now, the independence of the electoral system is crucial for free and fair elections. However, the 1992 Constitution gives the president power to elect these electoral commissioners. Yes. Now, this undermines the ability of the election commissioners, and then questions are raised about the integrity of our elections and the capability or the power of our electoral commissioners. Panel of judges. Our third argument in favor of the motion is the weak local governance. Now, allow me to quote Article 2402, Clause 2, Section E of the 1992 Constitution. It states, quote and unquote, to ensure the accountability of local government authorities, the people in the particular local government areas shall, as far as practicable, be offered the opportunity to participate effectively in their governance. Now, the House, does this article, which sounds so heavily and promising, hold? This, like I said, has led to my 8th point of weak local governance. Panel, the Constitution's provisions on local governance does not provide the local government autonomy and resources. This has led to a power concentrated to the central government, whereas funds are allocated to the local government by the president. Now, the local governments rely heavily on fundings from the central government. This means that the local government do not have the power to independently make decisions to affect or in favor of the needs of their constituency. Now, my opponent, looking at these challenges, how effective does the administration of the local government is? Now, the chair, the House, my opponent, we are here on the fact that Ghana's ailing government is gradually showing cracks, and this is because of the 1992 Constitution. Call me out when I say that they are part in this constitution leading to our ailing government, and that is what my principal speaker and I have clearly stated in our argument. This debate, therefore, is a wake-up call to all Ghanaians to advocate for a further strengthening of the constitution. We are calling for an amendment in the Constitution and not an entire change in the laws of the Constitution. The Chair, to rebut what my opponent came to say, yes, we agree that the 1992 Constitution, to add up to what she said, provide free basic education, protect rights, and what have you, but so does the constitutions of different countries, because these rights are basic rights every individual must enjoy, regardless of the country of their origin. Then again, my opponent stated that it is because of our corrupt leaders, that is why the government system is ailing. Now, if the constitution was turgid enough, do you think that the leaders would use this constitution to indulge in negative practices? Because the constitution is very weak, they find the loopholes in the constitution to indulge in these practices. And so the fault is from the constitution and not the leaders. The Chair, I rest my case.
My opponent, if you arrive first at the battleground, it does not guarantee you have won the war. They were young-looking chair, wise and impartial panel of educators, accurate timekeeper, organizer of Love FM High School debate, co-debaters, ladies and gentlemen, I am Precious Ekia Owusua. The motion before this August Houses, quote and unquote, Ghana's ailing government system is attributable to the 1992 Constitution. The Chair, since my principal speaker have already elucidated the key terms in the motion, kindly permit me to proceed with my argument. The 1992 Constitution cannot, I repeat, cannot be blamed for the poor government system in Ghana because, point one, the Chair, it facilitates international relation. International relation refers to the political, social, and economic interaction between two or more countries. The 1992 Constitution enhances this policy. The fundamental principle that guides Ghana's foreign policy is contained in this 1992 Constitution. Foreign policy is the mechanism the national government uses to guide their diplomatic interaction and relationship with other countries. Article 4.0 of the 1992 Constitution provide broader principle underpinning Ghana's foreign policy. The article states that in all dealings with other nations, the government shall 1. Promote and protect the interests of Ghana, 2. Seek the establishment of a just and equitable economic and social order. This law guides every step the government takes towards international relations. On 5th April 2022, Ghana was considering the U.S. aid to support the country's ground system. However, the grant came with conditions relating to the famous LGBTQ+. The U.S. government made it clear that the aid recipient must comply with the LGBTQ+ agenda, which include promoting lesbianism and gay. The Ghanaian government did not accept this aid because of Article 4.0 Clause 1, which states, and I quote, "We should promote and protect the interests of Ghana," unquote. Since the policy did not align with the interests of the citizens, the government prioritized the benefits of the Constitution over the benefits of the aid. The international relations of Ghana are being enhanced by the Constitution to prevent any sort of aid with strings attached. If the 1992 Constitution is doing this, we cannot attribute Ghana's poor government system to it. Point 2, the Chair, it ensures equality in the country. Equality is the state of being equal, especially in status, rights, and opportunities. Equality means that each and every individual have equal resource and opportunity regardless of their circumstances. It is written in the Constitution to ensure that each and every person enjoy equal rights, irrespective of the race, gender, or ethnic affiliation of the person. According to Connell, Article 1.7 of the 1992 Constitution relates equality and non-discrimination. The article states that every person in Ghana is equal before the law, irrespective of the person's gender, ethnic origin, or social status. Equality in government system is crucial for several reasons because it guarantees all individuals to have equal accessibility to resources and opportunity, and hence enabling them to participate fully in political process. My opponent, and this is why my opponent had opportunity to stand on this platform just a week ago to argue for the voting age to be lowered to 16. This equity of the 1992 Constitution has encouraged the inclusivity of people and diverse perspective, leading to a more informed policy making. Since this provision of the 1992 Constitution has improved the government system, it will be an overstatement to say that Ghana's ailing government system is attributable to the 1992 Constitution. Point 3, the Chair, it enables flexibility in amendment. Amendment is an additional or alteration made to a constitution or a legislative bill. Flexibility in amendment means that certain laws in the constitution can be easily amended. Amendments are made to allow necessary changes to be made in response to political crisis and societal transformation. Amendment can introduce new provision or refine new existing ones to enhance efficiency in government. There was an amendment made in 1996. The amendment required 2/3 majority vote of the Constitutional Convention. In 1996, 2 laws were amended. The clause 5 of Article 9 of the Constitution was withdrawn, and a new clause that allowed government to make provision for the denial of citizenship and the circumstances under which citizenship may be acquired. Also, the Food and Drugs Article 523 was amended to curb the nutritional deficiencies. By amending the Constitution, the government can demonstrate its commitment to improvement, accountability, and well-being of its citizens, ultimately strengthening the government system. Amendment is part of the 1992 Constitution and hence can never and ever be the root of a weak government system. The chair, the House, after clearly stating my well-constructed point, I need to prove to my impartial panel of judges some points asserted by the opposing team, which are just not in conformity to the motion on board. My opponent made an assertion that the 1992 Constitution has made the president too powerful, which has led to the abuse of power in governance. My opponent. Now, follow me. Let's go into the Constitution. Act 5.7 and 5.8 of the 1992 Constitution specify the duties of the executive. It limits the executive and give other arms of government power. This means that the Constitution has not made the president too powerful. My opponent, the separation of power principle in the Constitution, like the Article 9.3 Clause 2, 5.8 Clause 1 and 1.2.3 Clause 3 has made it clear that the government can bring out his duties or specify his duties. So, my opponent, this is just an assumption that you made, and it's not and ever be related to the 1992 Constitution. My opponent also asserted that the 1992 Constitution does not address issues on corruption. Corruption, you see, my ladies. Oh. Corruption can never and ever be associated with the 1992 Constitution. First, our Constitution expressly provides in Article 3.5 Clause 8 that the state shall take steps to eradicate or prevent corrupt practices. With this information in the Constitution, the government established agencies such as the SHS, OSP, IOCO, whose work is to investigate to prosecute of corrupt officials. Also, the Whistleblowers Act, which allows people to report corrupt activities anonymously. These agencies arrested Abu Gapeli and Sedina Tamaklo, who was accused of deliberately causing financial loss to the state. If Ghana is ranked one of the corrupt countries, this constitution and the people should be blamed, not the 1992 Constitution. The chair, the House, we have researched, we have argued, and indeed, we have justified our stance. Thank you.
The chair, the House. I come before you once again to present the summary of the arguments made by my supporting speaker and I. In total, we argue that 1. The 1992 Constitution vests extensive power in the President. 2. The 1992 Constitution disregards the principle of separation of powers. 3. The 1992 Constitution undermines judiciary independence and compromises their ability to work impartially and independently. 4. The 1992 Constitution leads to corruption. 5. The 1992 Constitution leads to inadequate protection for citizens. 6. The term limits and lack of continuity with respect to projects and policies. 7. The weakening electoral integrity as supported by the 1992 Constitution. And 8. The 1992 Constitution brings about weak local governance. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this 1992 Constitution we are talking about exempts the president from paying taxes. If the first gentleman on the land does not pay taxes, how do we expect that ordinary citizen to pay his tax? What happened to leadership by example? Again, my opponents mentioned 1964. Is 2024 the same as 1964? The fact that it was helping in 1964 does not mean it is helping in 2024. My opponent also related this motion to last week's motion. But just as Michael said, this week's motion has nothing to do with last week's motion. And then my opponent came to talk about corruption, that the 1992 Constitution frowns upon corruption. But the 1992 Constitution frowns upon corruption. Does it state the penance for when corruption happens? Is corruption still not going on? What is the 1992 Constitution doing about the corruption going on? And then my opponents came to talk about the fact that there is separation of powers in the 1992 Constitution. Is it not contradictory to mention separation of powers and checks and balances in the same Constitution? The legislature is part of the executive. Who watches the watchman, ladies and gentlemen? The watchman does not watch himself. And then my opponents came to talk about LGBTQ. I'm telling you today that the bill has gone through all the processes it's supposed to go to. But has the bill been signed? The same Constitution that gives extensive powers to the president, the Constitution has made the president, has told the president that his signature is needed before the bill can be passed on. And he's sitting upon his signature. Has he signed the bill, ladies and gentlemen? And then my opponents came to talk about implementation, not framework. I have a pertinent question for you. If a contractor follows the blueprint of an architect and the project does not live up to expectations, do we blame the contractor who merely followed the blueprint or the architect? If the framework is good enough, so will the implementation. They also talked about adaptability and amendments. Ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly what we are talking about. It is only when we admit that there are still challenges we can fix. You can claim that the 1992 Constitution has been amended once, yes, but the changes have not addressed our current problems, leaving to the ailing government. And then my opponents came to talk about, the Council of States. They said the Council of States, I don't clearly remember what they said, but ladies and gentlemen, who appoints the Council of States? If any of these judges were to be teachers of St. Louis Senior High School, to what extent would their fairness be? Where would their loyalty lie? If the president is appointing the Chief Justice and the Chief Justice is making decisions for the country, what are we talking about? The chair, all protocols duly observed. I rest my case.
The standing first person and the august house. My second comment is not to add or subtract, but to give a detailed summary of the cogent points raised by my cute supporting speaker and I. In our argument, we raised that the 1992 Constitution cannot be blamed for Ghana's ailing government system because 1, it has led to democratic stability. 2, it ensures protection of fundamental human rights and liberties. 3, it enhances political decentralization. 4, it ensures the protection of public funds. And 5, it has established the Council of State. My supporting speaker came in to raise that the law cannot be blamed for Ghana's ailing government system because 1, it ensures equity in the country. And 2, it allows flexibility in amendments. And 3, it facilitates international relations. The chairperson, I heard my opponent mentioning that the law exempts the president from paying taxes. I have a question for them. Does the head teacher pay school fees? The answer is no. Society demands much from these people, and that's why they have been exempted from paying these taxes. So the argument of yours does not hold water. And they also said we talked of the LGBTQ plus bill. Please, we did not mention the LGBTQ plus bill. We said that when the government was going for this aid, he rejected the string attached to it. Please be attentive. They also argue that the law lacks continuity. Please, the continuity is the duty of the government and not the Constitution. And as your dear husband said, this continuity is due to the effectiveness of the government and not the Constitution. So we can't relate lack of continuity to the Constitution. Please, blame your government. They also argue that the law ensures appointment of electoral commissioners by the president. Let me give you a scenario. The former president, John Dramani Mahama, elected Jean as the EC boss. Then, in the 2016 election, Mahama still lost. So where lies the integrity? Mahama still lost by an EC he himself appointed. So the integrity lies in the hands of the EC boss and not their constitution. Now, the House, my opponent presented this as evidence that the law ensures that the appointment of officers are just given to the president. But it seems they don't like reading. You know what? From the clause 3 of the same article they presented, let me read it to you. They said that the power to appoint persons to hold or act an office in the body of higher education, professional training, shall vest in the council or other governing bodies. Meaning that other governing bodies shall also vest this power in people, and not only the president. So please like reading and be attentive. And that's where this that we call on all and sundry. But please, wait. Let me give you a scenario. Mama Lou, imagine you are a mother who have taken your ward to school with the aim that the child is going to study to become a prominent citizen in the near future. If the child ends up becoming a drug addict, a rapist, a smoker, a criminal, who should we blame? Is this you, Mama Lou, or the child? It is the child. It is the same scenario with the constitution. If the law has given you the steps to follow and guide the country, and instead you do it to your own will, it's due to your own unpatriotic nature and not the constitution. With this, we call on all and sundry to join us to debunk the circulation. Thank you.
This is where I come in and I say, wow. I say, wow. You know why? Because you sit in your own small corner, hear these young ones debate. One particular debater might come, put some points across, and you're like, okay, yeah, this is solid. This one is going to help the person win. Then the other debater comes and, presents other debates, and you're like, wow, this is even better than the other one. Then another one comes, and so you get confused along the line. You keep asking yourself, who is going to win this contest? Who do you think is going to win? Church of Christ St. Louis, who's going to win? Now, I'm not hearing you. At this point in time, please put your hands together for debaters for Church of Christ, Blessing Echampong, and Precious Ekia Osua, and Aisha Nasara Mohammed, and Melissa Jackson Kwanta for St. Louis Senior High School. I have never said this before, but allow me to say this. Thank you. Thank you. And I am excited that I'm not a judge. It is for them to do their job, and indeed, they are up to it. And from where I stand, I can see them working assiduously towards putting together the results for us. At this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, let's say a big thank you to our main sponsor, Pepsodent Cavity Fighter. Also a big thank you to Bigo, to Jackson University College, not forgetting Cowbell and the Christian Service University College. I'll invite my lieutenants in Patricia and Becca to give us more information as to the sponsors who are supporting us in this year's edition of the Love FM Pepsodent High School Debate, after which they'll tell us what people are saying on social media. This time around, let me go to Patricia.
Absolutely, David. We'll be sharing all that information, but let's say thank you to Slim and Fit. Are you worried about the weight that you have put on, or are you struggling to lose that belly fat after giving birth? Let me recommend the best weight loss supplement feed for you, and that is Slim and Fit. We will help you shed off that unwanted fat and, of course, get you back looking into that beautiful natural look that God gave you from birth. That is what Slim and Fit actually does for you. Remember that this product has been approved by the FDA and also endorsed by Ohiniri Giftianti, I must say, and Tema Kunkum of Adum TV. Slim and Fit, we say regain your confidence. Let me also say thank you very much to Esilali Makeup GH, official makeup artist for the Love FM Pepsodent High School debate. Now you need to sign up for our 2 weeks intensive program or our 3 months regular program to be a professional makeup artist. We have also introduced Salado GH, which serves you delicious, healthy salad every day. Locate us at Amakom Traffic Light next to Wachi Kumase and also on social media. Give us a call today, 0247 990760. Esilali Makeup GH, we say your world of beauty and more.
We'd also like to say a very big thank you to Super Lovec Phones. You can buy or order all your phones, tablets, or all mobile devices via our Play Store app from our website www.superlovec.com and enjoy a discount of up to 50%. Super Lovec Phones gives you a free glass protector with every purchase you make. You can locate us at Asafo opposite VIP Station, Adum, PZ, Sofoline, Tech Junction, and Kejetia between Opportunity Bank and MTN.
Now, I'm going to do a very simple exercise. Who here can tell me the most effective, trusted anti-malarial drug on the market that has been provided or produced by Tradewinds Chemists? Anybody in the audience? Who knows the answer? 50 Ghana cedis straight. 50 cedis straight. Okay. I should make it 100. Okay, 100 cedis. Okay, so we have somebody in the audience. Please share with us. Can I go over to her?
Let me do that on your behalf.
All right, David, thank you very much.
I'm just hoping and praying that she would win the 100 Ghana cedis.
And
so you tell us your name, the school you represent, and then give us the answer.
Sure.
My name is Nyoko, and I represent St. Louis.
Okay.
The medicine is Coatem.
No, another attempt. Who can give me the answer? It's been produced by Tradewinds Chemists.
Okay.
It is the most effective
So the final
anti-malarial drug
attempt,
you can get. Whilst David goes to get me the answer, remember that this is a drug that has been approved by the FDA.
Suddenly, everyone is courageous because of money.
Available in all pharmacy shops nationwide.
So the same style. You tell us your name, the school you represent, and then you give us the answer.
I am Pius Pascal from Church of Christ Senior High School, and the medicine is Tramatem.
Please give it up for him. And he wins 100 cedis also.
All right, so boss,
come over for your money.
Should I go for your money for you? Chief, hello.
Okay.
Should I go for your money for you?
Pius,
or you go for it yourself?
Pius, come over for your money. Please clap for him. And that...
Wow, that's nice.
He got it right. That is Tramatem, produced proudly by Tradewinds Chemists right here in Ghana. It contains artemether and lumefantrine. It's a 24 blister pack of medicine. And so when you get it, yes, make sure that you are using it. That's Tramatem.
And it now tells you that once you have malaria, if you're battling malaria, the best drug on the market is what?
Tramatem from Tradewinds Chemists.
Exactly
So, Pius, do go for your money. Please clap for him again. Thank you very much, Pius, and thank you so much, Tradewinds Chemists. Now, we also like to say thank you to Dynamis Plus, providing schools, churches, hospitals, homes, and other institutions with PVC interior and exterior security doors, waterproof and bulletproof doors, as well as fireproof doors. Now, our doors can withstand fire for up to 2 hours if there's any incident in your house. Now, build your most cherished and enchanting spaces with our quality, customized, beautiful, and original furniture coming all the way from Turkey. Dynamis Plus, we give you real value for money.
We'd also like to say a very big thank you to Best Brain Publications. Every child with a good future depends on the foundation laid by their parents. Are you a school or parent looking for quality NACA and GES approved English, science, mathematics, and computing books for your wards? Then Best Brain Publications has got you covered. We produce all books, all subject books for your children from crèche, nursery, kindergarten, and even the primary level. You can locate Best Brain Publications at Pankrono. Best Brain Publications, securing tomorrow's academic well-being today.
And I'm taking you straight now to Otuasikan Royal Bank. They have branches located at Kofiase, Mampong, Ejura, Sepe, Abofo, Macro, and Kinkenso, and also Dr. Mensah. You might be asking yourself what they do. Apart from the fact that they are securing your future with their infant account, which your parent has to actually open for you, now they are floating shares for just 50 pesos, I must say. And all you need is a minimum of 100 shares, which is 50 Ghana cedis. So I don't know, Pius, maybe you need to go to and get your shares from there, okay? Because the reason is that their shares yields very high interest. And please tell mommy and daddy to also go to them for their group loans, their business loans, their funeral loans, and everything when it comes to money.
We'd also say a very big thank you to Fortune Low Fat Spread for Bread. There's an all-new Fortune in town, and that is Fortune Low Fat Spread for Bread. It is yummy, nutritious, delicious, and it spreads easily. Fortune Low Fat Spread for Bread has a creamy taste and is packed with several essential vitamins to help our little stars get energized. This advert, of course, is FDA approved. So whether on bread, biscuits, corn, or toast, Fortune Low Fat Spread for Bread is always on point. We also say a very big thank you to Jamal Soap from Wilma for cleaner, fresher wash.
Let's say thank you to DBS Industries, your reputable name in quality roofing with goodies here for everybody in the estate and construction industry. Go to DBS and enjoy huge discounts on all of our Aluzing roofing sheets. If you are an existing customer or a new one, just go to DBS. We have offices in Accra and Kumasi. Call us for free estimates and we will sort you out. DBS Industries, we say roofing Papa Power Fee. And before I go to YouTube for the comments that you have put there, we say finally thank you to New Generation Investment Services. They are offering us managed investment, assisted with our pension planning, and managing our Tier 2 and Tier 3 pensions. Secure your future today with our Nidaswa Mutual Fund, NGIS Money Market Fund, and private funds. Talk to our seasoned advisors today about your investment goals and aspirations. The National Pensions Regulatory Authority and the Securities and Exchange Commission have all licensed NGIS. NGIS, we say, achieving excellent results on your returns. And Obiniyem, are we ready for the social media comments?
Are you sure? Are you sure? Okay, let's visit Facebook now. We have Lydia Men who says St. Louis all the way. Anthony Inkum says Christian Service University are doing the best hosting this competition. All the best to all contestants. Cleopatra says Aisha is a great speaker. Confidence also says the St. Louis principal speaker is very, very good. Masad Hal says the St. Louis principal speaker is so good. She's speaking with facts. I thought you were going to give yourselves a round of applause. Really? Don't be boring, guys. Boache Michael says, pace setters go for gold. Veronica Abna says, our rival St. Louis all the way. This person has got to be from Yasantua. Anyway, Echampo Otio says, Krisek is on the winning side. Krisek is truly excelling. Samuel Awuni says, Krisek all the way. Cleopatra says, St. Louis, great rebuttals. Emmanuel Opon says, oops, St. Louis is losing it.
Okay.
Paul Prof also says, is the subordinate speaker for OWA's part of the drama group? That's not nice, guys. That's not nice. That's not nice. Patricia, let's visit YouTube now.
I'm going to YouTube right now, and I'm starting off with Alexander Owusu, who says he's watching us all the way from UCC, and he is supporting Krisek. He says heat. And he goes ahead to say, okay, you guys might be interested in hearing this one. He actually says that he skipped his lectures because of you. And Luxury Building says, Charlie Dog Krisek, Sahus all the way. Owazie says, Maureen Owusu says, Krisek all the way. And Henry Numado says, Sahus all the way. Arnold Opoku Ware says, Alexander, please tell me why. And he says he's also watching us live from UCC, and he can't wait to hear some punchlines and flawless rebuttals. Now, this message coming in from Ahmed says, heat, St. Hubert. And Alexander says, okay, Francis Kwao says, Hubert, fire. NS Dazi is sending us a hi from YouTube. Doba Richard says, McCarthy, fire. Arnold Opoku says, both speakers from the two schools are good. However, they should work on developing genuine rebuttals and stating why their point surpasses their opponent's point. And Osei Gifty says, Osei Emmanuel says, Krisek all the way. And Pretty Pat says, Krisek all the way. Krisekans are going to prove them wrong. And I'm going to end on this one coming from Abigi J. He says, very good, precious Krisek heat. So these are some of your comments you are sharing with us on your social media handles. We appreciate them. Keep them coming with the hashtag LUVFMHSD. David.
Well, so Patricia, you know there are occasions you might think that you are saying things in two,
Uh-huh.
You think that your mind is playing a trick on you.
Yeah, it kind of happens.
So when he asked that question about the malaria drug,
Uh-huh.
I walked to the St. Louis school,
Mhm.
and I saw a lady, and I engaged with her.
Yeah.
I come to stand here, I'm like, has she changed her sitting position? Only to realize that I think they're twins. Are
Oh,
you
yeah,
twins?
they are twins, actually.
Are you twins, yeah? You're twins. Yeah, so
They
I thought
are.
they were deceiving my eye. So my glasses are perfect. I can see clearly. Listen, please put your hands together for these two amazing women. Patricia Amabusu, and of course, Becca. Now, in a bit, I'll be sharing with you the results. But listen, it's been a very healthy, a very beautiful debate. I'm sure it's been worth your while this afternoon. If you have enjoyed yourselves and you're excited to have been part of this debate this afternoon, put your hands together one more time for yourselves. Put your hands together for the debaters. Put your hands together for our chairperson. Put your hands together for our panel of judges. Put your hands together for our technical team, to our social media team. And put your hands together for each and everybody watching us on Facebook, YouTube, and of course on television, and listening to us also on radio. Are you comfortable in the seats you are in? Are you comfortable? Are you sure you're very comfortable? All right, I know a few of you will say what you're saying, but don't worry. It's courtesy the Christian Service University College. They have, been kind enough to give to us this beautiful auditorium to, have this year's edition of the Love FM Pepsodent High School Debate. I'd like to call on Mrs. Anastasia Kudu-Afenu. She is Principal Administrative Assistant Institutional Advancement Unit with the Christian Service University College, and she's got some very important information to share with us. Please put your hands together for her. And then put your hands together for the unborn one as well.
I heard someone saying, she's here once again. Yes, I'm here once again. A very good afternoon to you all. And once again, a special thank you to Multimedia Love FM for the opportunity granted us as your host for the maiden up till today edition of the Love FM High School Debate. Madam Chairman, Madam Chairperson, once again, yes. All protocol duly observed. I am here once again to tell you about Christian Service University College, what we do. For 50 years, we have provided education. And the education we have provided goes beyond training. We train, we mentor, and till date, we are nurturing. And we want to continue to nurture till we have all of you in this beautiful institution to provide you that excellence I talked about the last time, so that you become the future global leaders we are all expecting. This afternoon, I want you to be aware that we appreciate your presence here, and we are in support of every beautiful thing you are doing here in the Love FM High School Debate. It's about education. It's about training. And we are saying that as you end this program in your various institutions, come and join us. We have opened our admissions for 2024-2025 academic year. I am a proud alumna of Christian Service University, and I am also a staff here. I am able to speak to you. I am not shy. In fact, I don't see anybody because of the education I had here. Aren't you happy for me? Yes. Please clap for me. So we offer several programs, including first degree to other degrees. That is 4-year degree programs, then master programs. And the undergraduate programs, which are the degree programs, include midwifery, nursing, information technology, computer science, Bachelor of Arts in Planning and Development, theology with administration, business administration, accounting, banking and finance, human resource and marketing. And in communication studies, just as I said, I did communication studies. If you want to speak in an institution, if you want to speak on radio, just as Becca and Pat does it so beautifully, come and join Christian Service University. And after this, you have a 1-year master program, several in English education, mathematics education, MA/MPhil communication studies, corporate planning and governance, monitoring and evaluation, accounting and finance, Christian ministry with management. Please, I want you to know that we are a fully chartered academic institution. When I say that, it means we are independent, we are autonomous. We can address issues locally. I hope you understand me. Yes, so we are Christian Service University. This is our identity. I am inviting you all to join us when you complete. In fact, if your sister or your brother has also completed and he's at home, come and join us. We will train you and also offer you scholarship as well. From aggregate 6 to 10, you have our tuition scholarship. Thank you, Multimedia Love FM, once again.
Oh, I'm sure that after a very beautiful presentation like that, we can do better with the applause. If you agree with me, let's do it better. Thank you so much. So this afternoon, we gathered here in this very beautiful auditorium to witness debates between 4 schools. The first contest was between St. Hubert Seminary and Opoku Ware School. The motion for them was Ghana's presidential term should be increased to 5 years. St. Hubert, they were for the motion. Opoku Ware School were against the motion. Venator. 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 Akateche. 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 All right, so your results are here. But before I even announce the results, please let's show some love for the debaters. Che and Ponsan Dixon Jedediah, Principal Speaker for St. Hubert, supported by Chair Michael Gutenberg. For Opoku Ware School, the Principal Speaker was Owusu and Sam Michael, supported by Chris McCarthy. St. Hubert, because your school were for the motion, I'll go through your results first. Let's start with organization and clarity. You got 29 from a judge, 24 from another, and 25 from the other as well. 3 judges. So 29, 24, 25 amounts to 78. Then let's move on to argument and development. One of the judges scored for St. Hubert Seminary, 29. The other judge scored 25. The other scored 22. So 29, 25, 22, that amounts to 76. By way of effective use of rebuttal, one of the judges scored for St. Hubert 11. The other said 8. The other one said 11. So 11, 8, 11, that amounts to 30. Presentation style, and we all witnessed it from both schools. By way of presentation style, a judge scored 12 for St. Hubert Seminary. Another scored 11. The other scored 14. So 12, 11, 14, that amounts to 37. Role as a particular debater. A judge scored for St. Hubert 9. Second judge scored 9. The third judge scored 7. And that amounts to 25. 9, 9, 5 amounts to 25. So 78, 76, 30, 37, 25, that amounts to 246 points for St. Hubert Seminary or St. Hubert Senior High School. Now the score sheet for Opoku Ware School. Organization and clarity. One judge scored for you 23. Another scored 22. The final judge scored 25. 23, 22, 25 amounts to 70. Argument and development. Opoku Ware School. One judge scored for you 24. Another scored 25. The last judge scored 22. 24, 25, 22. That amounts to 71. Effective use of rebuttal. A judge scored for Opoku Ware School 7. The other scored 9. The final judge scored 10. 7, 9, 10, that amounts to 26. Now, presentation style. One judge scored 11. Second judge scored 11. Third judge scored 11. 11, 11, 11, that amounts to 33. Then role as a particular debater. One of the judges scored for Opoku Ware School 8. The other scored 9. The last judge scored 6. That amounts to 23. 8, 9, 6 amounts to 23. So if we're tallying your results, 70, 71, 26, 33, 23 amounts to 223. And so, the winner for that contest is St. Hubert Seminary. And for your information, it was a unanimous decision. For your information, it was a unanimous decision. Unanimous meaning that all 3 judges scored for St. Hubert Senior High School. So St. Hubert, as you have won and making it to the quarterfinal stage of this year's competition, you can decide to sing your school anthem or give us 5 minutes of Jama. Let's do this right now. So either you sing for us your school anthem by way of celebrating your victory, or you can give us 5 minutes of Jama. It's up to you to decide. So quickly, let's hear you, St. Hubert. Gracias. It's okay, it's all right. When you leave the auditorium and you are going to school, you sing. But let me say gracias to you. The second contest for the day was a contest between St. Louis Senior High School and Church of Christ. Representing Church of Christ, we had Blessing Echampon, principal speaker, and Precious Ekia Owusu, supporting speaker. For St. Louis Senior High School, we had Aisha Nasara Mohammed, principal speaker, and Millicent Jackson Kwanzaa, supporting speaker. Now, your results. I will start with that of St. Louis Senior High School. This is so because you were for the motion. Just like we did for that of OAS and the St. Hubert Senior High School. By way of organization and clarity, St. Louis, one judge scored 25. The second judge scored 22. The third judge scored 25 as well. So 25, 22, 25, that amounts to 72 for St. Louis Senior High School. When it comes to argument and development, St. Louis Senior High School, a judge scored 25, another scored 24, the third judge scored 22. 25, 24, 22, that amounts to 71. Effective use of rebuttal. One judge scored 4, St. Louis Senior High School 6, second judge scored 7, the final judge scored 11. So 6, 7, 11, that amounts to 24. Presentation style, a judge scored for you 10, second judge scored 13, third judge scored 10. So 10, 13, 10, that amounts to 33. Role as a particular debater for St. Louis Senior High School, a judge scored 8, another scored 9, and then the other scored 7. 8, 9, 7, that amounts to 24. So let's put it together. 72, 71, 24, 33, 24, that amounts to 224 points for St. Louis Senior High School. Let's go to Church of Christ. Again, by way of organization and clarity, Church of Christ, a judge scored for you 27, another scored 24, the final judge scored 23. 27, 24, 23, that amounts to 74. Argument and development for Church of Christ, one judge scored 29, the other scored 25, the last one scored 20. So 29, 25, 20 amounts to 74. Effective use of rebuttal, one judge scored 11, another scored 7, the last judge scored 11. 11, 7, 11, that amounts to 29. Presentation style, 4, Church of Christ. One judge scored 13, the other scored 13, the last judge scored 11. 13, 13, 11, that amounts to 37. Let's now settle on role as a particular debater. Church of Christ, a judge scored for you 7, the second judge scored 10, the third judge scored 7. 9, 10, 7, that amounts to 26. So let's put it all together. 74, 74, 29, 37, 26. That amounts to 240. So by this results, It means that Church of Christ is advancing to the quarterfinal stage of this year's edition of the Love FM Pepsodent High School Debate. And for your information, this victory is a majority victory, not a unanimous. It's a majority victory for Church of Christ. So Church of Christ, Cresek, just like we did for St. Hubert Seminary, you can decide to sing your school anthem in celebrating your victory, or you can decide to do 5 minutes of Jama. It's your decision, it's your choice, and that time is now. So please take it away.
To the next round, as well as Church of Christ Senior High School have all made it to the next round of the competition. And so, like we did before, speaking to them, gauging them, let's find out from them how happy or otherwise they are after winning. And I'm going to start off with a gentleman here from St. Hubert Seminary who beat Opoku Ware School. And congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And how are you feeling?
Oh, we are happy because we were expecting this, and yes, indeed, God has made it come to pass. So we are very happy.
Did the name of WAS scare you, although you guys are literally on the same campus?
Not at all, because we took this opportunity to show them that yes, indeed, we are not suburbs to them. Like, we are not subordinates, we are not their subordinates. We are independent of ourselves. Yes.
I see, and I'm going to go to the gentleman there. Please draw closer to me, let's have this conversation. Having to do the job that you did back there, what was the conviction for you?
Okay, so before we even started the contest, the students from Opoku Ware came here bragging and all that. So when I heard them speaking like that, it was kind of funny to me. They said we've been complacent and all that, but one message I have for them is that we have not been complacent. We are not complacent and will never be complacent.
I see. And I'm going to speak to your patron right now. He had some words for us before we started, and victory is yours today. St. Hubert, how did you do it?
It's by God, and it's God, and it will always be God. And I'm telling our brothers, a anger against a brother is only felt in the flesh, not in the bone. They should forgive us. We are still brothers.
I see. That is let me finally speak to this patron from Opoku Ware School. Sorry, I must say St. Hubert. I'm sorry, St. Hubert Seminary. And tell me, what's the feeling like for you?
Yes, a mixed feeling. We would have loved that our brothers would go far, but unfortunately they had to meet us at this stage of the contest. We wish them well, but we are going to continue with our celebrations.
Okay, thank you so much, St. Hubert Seminary. We can now have our team from Church of Christ. Yes, join us right now. Church of Christ, let's have this conversation and find out from you also how excited you are after today. We have our lecturers or our teachers from Church of Christ. Congratulations, sweetheart. Tell me how the feeling is like.
We can't really describe how we are feeling. We hoped, we prayed, we believed that it was going to be possible. This year, we promised you we are coming stronger. And through this year, we have come as we promised.
And this gentleman did the magic, if I must say. Tell me, what award did you get?
You know, I said something when he came here last year, after we were eliminated. I said we gathered something, and that was experience. And indeed, experience is the best teacher.
Oh, see, nice one. And madam, share some words with us. You are live on Love 99.5 and also Joy Learning.
All I want to say is to thank God. All this flavor is because of the favor of God. And it is good because God is in it. We are very grateful to God. It hasn't been easy, but we have conquered. And indeed, I am celebrating my year as the WDS Patroness of the Year. And I'm very, very happy.
I see you are sweating all over. I don't know whether you are the one who brought the drums for the school for the Jama today, but tell me, your excitement level is just off the roof.
All right, so the sweating is natural. You see, before the start of the issue, I told you that last time we met the husband, then they give it to us. So you've met the wife on the roadside. You've given it to them. So when they go to the house, we know that they are going to report us to the husband. And we know our next contest is against Bompata. and we are going to prepare to face them. Thank you.
Sweetheart, you can finally let's have some words also from you. You look very excited. Tell me, did the names and we scare you?
No, not one bit, not at all. Because we came here last year and we promised to come back. And indeed, as my guy said, experience is the best teacher. And we had it from the previous debate that we had.
I see you. Emma, come and share also a few words with us before we enjoy the drama that you guys are giving us. What would you want to add?
What I want to add is that Andrew Swedworth once said, and I quote, "If you are a true warrior, then competition doesn't scare you. Then you have to be better." That's what he said. So this means Church of Christ Senior High School, we are winners. And St. Louis being a grade A school doesn't mean they are going to win. Today we've won the contest, and that shows we are the true warrior. That's all.
Okay, so guys, thank you so much. And Pius, how are you?
I'm fine.
Are you 100 cities today?
Yeah, I want it.
I see. But when you go home, what are you going to tell your friends?
Oh, I'm going to tell them that it's very interesting to be in Jackson University College and then Christian Service University College. Yeah.
I see. That's quite interesting to hear. But we're going to sign off from here. My name is Patricia. Thank you so much for joining us on the 6th edition of the Love FM Pepsodent High School Debates. Our collaborators once again include the Ghana Education Service, the Ashanti Regional Students Representative Council, the Conference of Heads of Assistant Senior High Schools, Joy Learning, and the Christian Service University. God willing, Thursday we bring you another edition here of this competition. But wherever you are, keep joining us on Loud 99.5 FM, on radio, on Joy Learning, on TV, as well as Facebook and YouTube. From all of us here at the Christian Service University, we say thank you so much for being a part of today. Bye-bye, guys.